All right, welcome to tonight's episode of Traveler, the Three Stooges years.
Traveler, using the cipher system and
using
Starfinder ship combat.
The Starfighter ship combat. Well, if we get to that, maybe that doesn't happen. So Dan, you just asked a question. What happened here? What were you referring to?
Well, I see some ConStabs there, and it says the G&T is here. So I assume maybe we're supposed to just walk south and get on the ship.
That's what we'd like to do.
Yes,
just walk south and get on the ship.
Don't want us to do that.
So immediately,
the
ConStabs don't.
Yeah, the ConStabs don't. Immediately prior to right now, basically, Bishop Hawke turned off all the sensors for the room. Now, this is the space dock. Now, the Djinn and Tonic currently has gravitic clamps attached to it, and it's interdicted, right? So the ship is locked in place. Bishop thinks he can get those gravitic clamps undone, and Tam is confident that despite any lingering issues that Djinn may have, that if you guys can get out of here, you'll get a head start on anybody coming after you, and be able to potentially get out to the LaGrange points where you can activate the jump drives without fear of destroying everything in the vessel, and jump away from here. He thinks that there's enough time. It'll take about 4 hours on full steam to get from Cymbeline station to the LaGrange point, the nearest LaGrange point, so you could hit the jump drives and go. And that should be, according to Tam, enough time for he and Djinn to do the calculations and figure out where you want to go. That's another thing. You guys haven't decided where you want to go yet. You still have cargo in the hold. So I checked back and I did quite a bit of research. You have 87 tons of live animals in chemical stasis that you're supposed to deliver to, hold on a sec, that you're supposed to deliver to Gliese 150, I think. Gliese 570, which is basically here. Let's just throw over there real quick and just show you what this is supposed to do. All right, so you guys are here at Cymbeline, okay? Gliese 150 is also called Mukadeen or Mukaldeen, something like that. It's this place right here. Essentially, it's a food run and livestock. So it's 2 jumps from where you guys are going. So you guys, the Djinn and Tonic is a jump 3 freighter. So it's 2 jumps. You're all loaded up and you've got food and stuff for that. But that's ostensibly where you guys were going to go to deliver once your business in Cymbeline was complete, which was the mounting of the weapons on the ship. Things kind of got out of hand after that. So, but that's where the cargo is pointed at. Yeah, is headed at. Now, whether you get there, well, here's the other side of that coin, right? It would be nothing for Tyla and or ConStab to follow up on those cargo contracts. Everything's logged in the sales the sales databases. They'll be able to determine that you guys have pretty quickly 87 tons of animals that are headed for Gliese 570, which means if you go there, you might have people waiting for you. But if you don't go there, you don't get paid either, and it might be difficult to pick up contracts later.
But what does Terra control? I mean, they can't just go wherever they want any more than we can, right?
No, and so correct. So Terra's control, well, honestly, Terra's control extends pretty far. You see the gray shaded areas? Those are all considered to be part of the Cymbeline cluster. That's direct Terran control and under Terran government. It extends. You're sort of out of it, but there is a lot of Terran influence, right? So Cymbeline has a Tyla office here enforcing Terran law. So they do have their own police and their own legal system. But right now, Cymbeline system and Kodrak's system are at war. Now, it's not really a big war. It's sort of a war of attrition, not like what the Kzinti and the Affront are doing to each other. But it's more of a disagreement with guns. It's not really a war. But and Terra is involved in trying to keep that from becoming a war. So they're dealing with that. So yeah, I mean, theoretically, what would happen is the Cymbeline people are certainly, what's the phrase I'm looking for? They're certainly susceptible to Terran pressure, even if they aren't necessarily part of the Cymbeline cluster, the Terran consortium. Right? There's a Tyla office here. It's largely they would. Cymbeline's legal system is probably part and parcel the same as what the Terran legal system is, and they probably look to Terra for federal enforcement. So while they're not technically part of the Cymbeline cluster, they would be under some sort of Terran legal authority. Think about it like the Old West, right? So you've got these far-flung towns that are far away from any sort of federal influence, but they still have to at least nod towards Terran law. And certainly if a representative from DC shows up in Deadwood and says, you guys need to do this, this, and this, they're going to recognize that authority.
But keeping that analogy, right? I wouldn't expect to go to one of these towns and find like the half of the Mexican army bunkered there just to try to capture us, because they don't have that kind of authority. They wouldn't let them do that.
Correct. Which is why Keith Smitchy in the first place tried to resort to trickery. I mean, he basically concocted charges against you. The Ursay had leveled those sort of kidnapping and destruction of property charges from the incident at Greenport, and when you blew up their lab and holed the station. So they use that to sort of make it a federal case, and Smitchy used this opportunity to sort of try and trick you guys into turning yourselves in, so that you could be captured. Now he wasn't about to. Basically, he told the guys on the street, the Mexican army, these guys are criminals and we're going to take them into custody. What he was really doing was taking you into custody, and he was going to hand you over to the Ursay.
Right.
Or at least that's what you think. He hasn't talked yet.
Oh, we're sure that's what he was going to do. That's
almost certainly. Oh, also so Bishop has video of Smitchy killing Popov, executing Popov.
Well, that helps a little too.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm thinking, and I'd probably discuss this with the doctor first, if and probably right in front of Smitchy. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
At some point, I'm assuming if I rip his arm out of the socket, that you'd be able to put it like on ice and keep it fresh so that it wouldn't go bad, and then we could kind of like cauterize the wound on his shoulder and then basically give him his arm back at the end of all this, assuming he tries to behave himself, right?
I'm sorry, what? Are you saying that you're going to surgically remove the man's arm?
He's channeling Eric.
Not surgically.
No, I believe he said rip it off.
Yeah, nothing to do with surgery.
Okay.
Bishop is still slumped down in the
That's
corner.
Mallory's. Isn't that Mallory's job? Hey, Eric, it's okay.
With his hands over his ears.
Yeah, Bishop, you've really done well to hitch your wagon to these guys to star.
Well, I didn't know they were psychotic when I first started.
No, it's Smitchy who's psychotic. I'm just trying to protect us from a psycho.
Happy Father's Day, Eric. Got your messages.
Yay. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
I got to show you guys what my kids got me before we go in. I got to show you what my kids got me for Father's Day. Hold on a second.
That's what Eric got. Eric got a lap dance.
No, it wasn't a lap dance. Perverts.
Well, Eric, it's his son on his lap.
Sound asleep on his lap.
What is that?
That is an ogre miniature for a scenario that I'm putting together. Essentially, I'm redoing the Battle of Brecourt Manor with orcs and elves. And I have these fantasy cannons that I'm going to use for to replace the 88s. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So I've got every time I go into the hobby shop, I can't help but buy one of those cannons, and now I have like 4 of them. So I had a brainstorm. I'm going to redo Brecourt Manor, only the orcs playing the Germans, and a combination of elves and men playing the 506th Airborne.
Nice.
So should be cool. All right, so you're gonna.
So what you were saying, Les, is we got nowhere to go. Even if we do get the ship, we're basically screwed because we.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying. No, Bishop has said that he can. So the ship is gravitically clamped, right? So
we can get past all that, but then wherever we fly to, there's going to be Tila there waiting for us.
Well, not necessarily. Keep in mind that Tyla.
Yes.
Keep in mind that Tyla had taken Smitchy into custody. So they knew that he had done some wrong things, because if you'll remember from the battle at the Tyla offices, Keeve's secretary vowed to essentially make a statement against him.
Testify against him. Yeah.
To testify against him. So Smitchy even admitted that his career was over because of you guys. And he's like, look, if I go back to Terra, I'll never see the light of day again. If I stay here, the Ursa will find me and kill me, because now I'm a liability, because I failed in what I was trying to do. And it's like the mafia, right? They don't know that I didn't talk. And I won't be able to convince them that I didn't talk. So they'll have to kill me out of
efficiency,
for safety's sake. Yeah. So so he's like, look, you guys are my only solution here. If I'm ever going to walk the streets of a station a free man again, I have to get off the station. I have to get away from the Ursa, because they're on the way. They will kill me. And in return, I will tell you everything I know about what the Ursa are up to and how you're involved.
And then
but he says, I don't say a word until we're safe in jump space, headed to some place that Now, what he would recommend is that you don't go to Gleasy 570 and drop off the animals, but try and maybe sell them somewhere else. That's probably a thing, because what are the chances that you're going to come back to Cymbeline?
We are not.
It's going to ruin our Uber rating, though.
Well, I mean, those Uber ratings, I mean, you could just deny it, right? You could say, what live animals? We don't know what you're talking about. We didn't pick up any things on Cymbeline. Also, Bishop also sent a message to Wen Yamazaki back in Mirabilis. Now, there's been no response, but and Chuck could correct me if I'm wrong, but you sent a message to her basically saying, you guys need to work to help clear these guys' names. They've got problems with Tyla and now ConStab. We need some heavy hitters like the lawyers of a mega corporation to come in and deal with the Terran legal authority while we sort of scoot around and take care of things for you, right? Because, I mean, I think, Chuck, you made the case that these boys wouldn't be in this mess if it hadn't been for you hiring them off the books to find out what's going on with the kidnapped scientists, right?
Yes. So that was the message sent to her, but I think the time for the message to get there and a response to get back, because of where we were, was longer than we had to sit around.
Yeah, correct. Now the response can be rerouted to the ship. It's not necessarily So the Djinn and Tonic can pick that up. Yeah.
So we'll get that response eventually.
Yep.
But we didn't have time to wait for whatever help they could lend with getting the people off your back.
Right.
We had
Correct.
to deal with that separately. And Smeeve doesn't know this, but the federal Tila, how we say it, those people have already been given a copy of the video.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, you did, because that's what I used to lure the Tila agents away from the ship.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, you did. You're right. You're right. I forgot that.
I had already hacked the local police.
Yep.
So I could send a fake order for them to relinquish their post because the perpetrators had been caught. And I'd already hacked the bots. So I made them basically say the same thing and leave. because I was controlling them. So
Right.
most of
Cool.
most of the local cops left with the bots.
Yep.
Because they thought, oh yeah, they got them, and we need to go back to here. They're in
Yeah.
custody. We don't
It's
need
Miller.
to watch
It's Miller
this-
time.
We don't need to
Yeah.
watch this ship anymore. And they bailed. But I couldn't get the Tyler guys off of there unless I gave them something that made them want to investigate something else. And that something was, I sent the video of
Smitchy executing Wanata.
a federal officer and said, report to this apartment because a federal officer has been slain here. And they all bailed.
That's right. I forgot that. Nope, you're
Very
absolutely correct.
cool. Well
So-
done.
So Smitchy doesn't know it, but he's fooked. No matter what.
Even
Yeah.
worse shape than he thought he was in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't have to tell him. We can let him find out organically
Drop him
I-
off. Drop him off at Sirius or Tau Ceti.
after he talks.
Yes. Okay, then the constabs that are here, who are they? That's not local police or Tila.
It is.
No,
They
that's
didn't
local
leave.
police.
Okay.
When they
And
got
they
the
don't
order-
like Tila all that much, if I remember correctly.
That's
No.
correct. They get along with they see so ConStab sees Tila as basically overbearing glory hounds. And Tyler sees ConStab as a bunch of lazy local yokels who are if they're not corrupt, they're stupid.
Okay.
Half are corrupt and half are stupid. So yeah, there's no love lost between those two organizations.
Okay, so here we are with the three constabs in front of us.
Correct.
Mehmet seems to be talking to one of them.
No,
I think I think Mehmet stabbed
I'm
him.
under arrest.
You're under arrest.
yes,
I
but he-
failed my convincing check.
But he
Oh, yeah.
stabbed that guy.
My
That guy's,
deception.
that guy's disabled times 2.
Yeah,
is.
he's debilitated. He's down. Mehmet, did you stab him? I think I remember you stabbed him.
Yes, because I had ran over here before and then came back and stabbed him.
That's right. I remember now. So yeah, you stabbed a cop
The other 2 are on the ground.
with shotgun wounds.
Multiple spurting fountains out of their bodies.
But we've called the doctor to patch them up just to stabilize them.
Oh, okay, so the fight's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's largely over. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, unless you want to go finish off one of the ones that's on the ground, that's basically a blood fountain at this point.
We don't want to.
I would prefer not to have killed any of these guys. They're
I
not
know.
bad guys.
I didn't want to either.
Neither
The
did
only guy I
wouldn't
want to
believe
kill
my
is
lies.
Smitchy.
Mallory didn't. want to
Mallory
kill him.
is typing. Mallory didn't kill him. He says he's
That-
like,
that's-
I'm innocent.
That's right. He stopped short of killing him.
They did. He stopped firing. They're both on the ground though, with multiple pellet wounds.
Is there anything we can do to help them? Are there?
We've got a doctor. Now, the last thing that had happened was somebody, I think it might have even been Mallory, called for Dr. Wagner to come and help these guys, stop the bleeding, give them first aid, whatever you do when you've been hit by multiple gunshots, but there's no hospital available.
But from my limited experience with your crew, the doctor's going to harvest their kidneys and leave them there.
Oh yeah, we left that out. So Dr. Wagner was done fixing Smitchy and had stopped the bleeding there and patched him up. He went over to the body of Wanata Popoff, the woman who had fired into the couch, and he forced Smitchy to get a cooler from the refrigerator, fill it with ice, and he pulled her kidneys out and put them in the ice. So yeah, Dr. Wagner has a lunch cooler with him.
You
with
guys
some-
will thank me later.
And a penchant for
One of you's
organ
gonna need a
harvesting.
kidney.
I
Yeah,
have
maybe one of these two constab guys right here.
And they probably all need livers.
Smitchy is definitely still alive. Dr. Wagner patched him up. No, Tam convinced you not to kill him, I thought.
Yeah, I'm on your side, Mallory. But as I was explaining, this is when you walked in, Eric. I was explaining to the rest of the group. He needs to be alive. He doesn't need to have all his limbs. We could easily remove one of his arms that he just doesn't use as much.
Really?
Well, now wait a second. If there's another alternative to limb removal, if we recall correctly, when you guys had Chimera captive, Dr. Wagner kept her in a chemical coma for like 30 days. You could do that to
Yeah.
him. Then give her some
Watching
soup.
him kill things is not on the list of.
But you
Well,
guys,
yeah, he just flat out executed Popoff.
you guys
Yeah.
want him to talk.
We
So
want him to talk.
you kind
We
of
want him to talk. We don't want him coma induced.
right.
in
You
the
kind of
drift, yeah.
at least need to seem amenable to him until he tells you everything we want to know, which is not going to be until we reach jump space.
Right.
He said flat out he's not talking until you guys are safe in jump space, and then he'll tell you everything you want to know.
I'm sure there are a number of things patently against the Geneva Convention that might change his mind on talking, but it would probably be easier to just be nice to him until he talks.
For just a couple minutes more.
Yeah, and then you can do whatever you want. So at this point, all the fighting stopped, right?
Yeah, the fighting is stopped, and they're asking Mallory, or it might be Mallory and Tam are asking for Dr. Wagner to come in and help these ConStab guys.
All right.
And Doc, I'll keep an eye on Snitchy while you go in and take care of that.
Eric's having a good Father's Day right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to
Hey,
I would like
hi
to
everybody.
ignore all of the criminal activity. Pass through this with my fingers and fingers going la 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 and get down here to where it says ship. Because I need to get on the ship and start
Okay,
trying to get it undone.
Yeah, we're going to the ship.
okay. Djinn doesn't recognize Bishop yet, so Tam, you have to set that up so that Djinn knows that Bishop is a friendly.
Wait a minute. Bishop Djinn should know me from the upgrades.
Never mind. Yep, never mind. Ignore what I just said. Djinn knows Bishop very well. Hi guys, how's it going?
Guys, we're on mute. So hush now.
Nope, I can hear you.
Oh,
You're not on mute.
You're not on mute. How you doing, dudes?
we can-
Great. Oh, that's fantastic.
So glad to hear it.
All right, you can wave.
Stop waving so loud.
Hi guys.
Cute and cuddly, boys. Cute and cuddly.
I hope you guys are both being good big brothers.
They're great.
I'm better than him.
Asher, oh, come on now.
Yes, I am.
Kind words, please.
But I'm older, so I'm obviously better.
Okay, go upstairs. It's bedtime.
Thank God. What would I listen to you?
You need to go brush teeth. And all right, good night.
Good
I
night.
love you. I love you.
Night.
Eric, I feel your pain. I have sons too.
And they still do that.
They still do that.
My two daughters were awesome today.
My two sons were awesome today. Marla made me homemade marinara, meatballs, garlic bread, Caesar salad with homemade proper Caesar salad dressing. It was fantastic. Toasted raviolis
With an anchovy base.
with an anchovy
No,
base and
tuna.
raw
I
egg.
love that.
It's fantastic. And rainbow sherbet for dessert. Excellent. All right. So Tam, you and Bishop head for the ship.
Yep.
You're when you get to the bulkhead, you have to actually activate the exterior communication system because you're not using lace. Normally you would talk to Djinn on lace. Bishop can talk to Djinn on lace if he wants to, but it would also indicate that Bishop is at the ship.
No,
Right.
And I don't know if you want to do that.
No, at this point, if once we start dealing with the ship,
Mhm.
I want to stick to non-lace communication
Okay, voice only.
because otherwise somebody might notice that somebody's talking to the ship.
Yep.
And that we don't want that.
Correct.
We're
Yeah,
still
because-
trying to be stealthy despite the automatic weapons fire.
That's true. So far it's working. I mean, you got rid of the cops. You've kept the shot caller system from going off. Having an expert computer dude on with you is a pretty good situation in a technological society. All right,
Yep.
so you guys do that. You tell Djinn to open up so that you guys can get in the ship.
Yes.
I assume that's the case. All right. So yeah. So Djinn is like, Mr. Tam, Mr. Hawke, welcome aboard the Djinn and Tonic. Please enter. And the pressure door opens, so you guys can get into the ship. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I am guarding Smitchy so the doc can go patch up the ConStabs.
All right.
Whatever the rest of the guys are doing, I'm considering that I have culpable deniability.
You're
Down
not
here in
watching.
this shit. I'm not watching.
You're not looking. Okay.
I don't want to know.
That's probably a good idea,
He's
frankly.
totally Schultzing it. I see nothing. I hear
I know nothing.
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 That's another one. I imagine that there is a whole generation of people that if you were at work and said, I know nothing, I see nothing, and they would look at you like you were an insane person.
Yep.
Or because of no cultural references. I imagine our parents looked at us when they said, I don't know, lines from Casablanca or some 40s movie or something like that. And
Okay.
we're just like, pfft.
We looked weird at our parents when they did those motions from the silent picture. So
So this Wednesday, my group of work is having a picnic at Jefferson Barracks.
Okay.
And I'm doing a little trivia contest, 5 rounds of 5 questions each, blah, blah, blah. One of the categories is IT acronyms. Okay. Now, none of you guys are necessarily in IT, but you might know this one. One of the acronyms I'm doing is WYSIWYG.
What you see is what you get.
Yep.
Is what you got. Yeah.
It's WYSIWYG, but then it says a lot of millennials will have never even heard of this, let alone know what it is.
Yep.
You guys are old enough to know what WYSIWYG is.
Well, then there's the legendary. I told Don mentioned this the other night on Friday when he was here, but I mentioned there's that old story of somebody brought out a 3.5-inch floppy disk, and a young person said, "Why would anybody 3D print the save icon?"
Yeah.
It took me a minute. I was like, "Damn, it's a 3.5-inch floppy. That's the save icon."
That's the save icon. It's a 3.5-inch floppy.
You know, there's a word for that. I can't remember what it is, but it happens common enough where older technology becomes the icon for new technology. Like the old headset,
Really?
handset of a phone is still the symbol for phone.
Oh yeah.
Printer, it still looks like an old.
Yeah, it still looks like an old dot.
Like an Epson printer.
Like an old dot matrix. Yeah, that's it.
That's true. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about the
There's
phone one. That's
there's
good.
a word for it.
Really?
And the little icon on your phone to answer it is oftentimes an old school handset.
Yeah, right.
Oh, even more so, the phone image, or I'm sorry, the camera image on a phone
looks like a
It's
camera.
an old style camera.
is a camera. It's an old style camera. Look at that thing. I'll be damned. All right. Well, tonight, more adventures in getting old. All right. So Weber, Mallory, I'm looking at you. You ran down to the, you abandoned the people you shot, and you're headed to the gin and tonic as well.
They'll be fine.
Is that correct? Okay. Dr. Wagner, it comes down to you. The captain is watching Kiev and beginning to sort of bring him along. Captain Smitchy is pale, weak, is having a hard time keeping on his feet. He's been shot. He's lost a fair amount of blood. Well, he's been shot within the last hour, and by Mallory, who seems to be doing a lot of the shooting around here. Tam, no, that's not true. Tam fired his weapon twice, missed both times.
Hey, warning shots.
They were warning shots.
Yeah, warning. I suck at shooting.
I suck at shooting.
Hold on, I'll write that down. They were warning shots. Okay.
I mean, come on, my man Mallory's a psychopath, but at least he hits his target.
That's true. All right, Dr. Wagner, what are you going to do? You are, if you step down those stairs, you will see that there are 3 men in ConStab uniforms, all in various stages of bleeding from gunshot wounds, and 1 stab.
It's times like this I feel resentful because I don't think these other guys maim and kill for free, but they just expect me to waltz down there and treat these ConStabs.
It's true. You don't have to. I mean,
Well,
they've asked you to.
Well,
Are you feeling underappreciated? Is that the issue?
We've also asked you not to harvest this time.
Yeah.
did not.
That's what he's
I don't
really
remember
upset about. He's
that.
not
Did you
harvesting.
hear he said? You did not. You didn't ask me any such thing.
All right.
I think we know where this is going.
I'm
But
asking
before I
now.
do, I whispered to Smitchy. I hear you're not talking till we're elsewhere. I want to help you. I'm a humanitarian. How about I cut off your big toe and stuff it in your mouth so you won't be able to talk?
Doc, these are nice guys. They were just doing their job.
I'm not
He's
sure
talking
what
to
his.
Smitchy.
I got to be honest with you, as DM, I'm not sure how Mitch Smitchy would respond to that.
Oh, you're saying that to Smitchy? Oh, you don't have to worry about Smitchy. I got him.
I like the fact that during the recap, you said, I think they were planning on escaping. You're the DM.
All right.
I think they were planning on escaping.
You don't know what they were doing.
Deal with some ConStabs. So, you have any money?
If you are you going to search him?
No, I'm asking him.
You're asking him. So the guy's like, "Oh God, this stab wound is really hurting me. I didn't know that guy was going to stab me. Can you give me a Band-Aid or some Bactine or something?"
Well, I need your insurance card or some cash.
I don't have. Is this Cymbeline is a subdivision of Canada. We have socialized medicine here. It's just a long wait.
All right, well, I have this piece of paper here. Just dip your finger in your blood, sign, and I will treat you.
All right, you got it. Here you go. And he
Okay.
dips his finger in his blood and makes a big X.
Okay, I go to treatment.
Okay, so give me so he's got a couple of gunshots and a stab wound. So it's a bit thing. You can give me a quick medical perception check. Whatever give me a D20 roll with your medical skills involved.
Damn it, I don't remember how to add my medical skill. It was easy in the old version.
It was easier in the old version, but it's so this gives you more more thing. Hold on, let me open those up and I will be there to guide you.
So my intellect is 25,
Yep.
and then I am skilled in medicine.
So you're skilled. That's
Specialized.
so you have this would be an intelligence check based on your particular skills. So you have edge in intellect and you have a pool number, right? So the pool points, it's a 1-to-1 basis. So say this is to determine these guys to see if you're basically performing triage on this guy and find out what's wrong with him. Say it's a DC 15 check, right? So if you were to just roll it, you would try to roll a 15 or better to determine what's going on. However, you are a highly skilled medical professional. So you have, if you're using the medicine skill, you are specialized in this, which gives you 3 jumps. So each jump is 5 points. So you take 9 points off that 15 and bring it down to a 6. You also have a point of edge in intellect, which is another jump, which brings that down to a 3. So to determine whether or not, without using any additional points other than edge and specialization skill, you got to roll a 3 or better to determine pretty significantly of what's wrong with whether what's happening with this guy internally.
So I don't have to spend any points. That's just what I'm given.
3 or better without spending any points.
Okay.
This is your
Good.
wheelhouse.
All right, here we go.
4. Okay, you did it. All right. So basically, this guy has two bullet wounds. They're small. They're shotgun pellets, essentially, double-aught buck. So they're about potentially, I don't know, Chuck. How big would you say a buckshot pellet is? The balls about 8 millimeters, maybe.
I would have to look it up.
It's been a
They're the
Let's
si-
just
they're
call
the
them
size of,
BB sized.
well, they're not. They're ball bearing size. When
Well,
you're talking about double-aught buck, I think the double-aught
BBs are ball bearings in a way,
BBs are
and ball
BBs.
bearings come in different sizes,
Let's see.
don't they?
Okay, so each pellet in double aught buckshot is approximately 9.1 millimeters
There you go.
in size. So there you go. I almost got it. So yeah, so you see essentially there are two holes in this guy that have come from double aught buck. You do not see exit holes, so the pellets are still inside him. You also see a pretty significant stab wound in his side, which went. So these guys are wearing sort of apron style body armor.
I think
And
those are called smocks.
yeah, smock style body armor. There's a stab wound sort of in the side where the body armor doesn't cover, right? That stab wound is pretty deep and has likely punctured a lung because you can tell that this guy's having some breathing. Now, he is not, he's having some breathing issues. So the lung is probably collapsed, but he is not, he will last a while. He will not be happy about it, but it's going to take this guy. He's got two small wounds to the abdomen and a stab wound to the lung. That lung is probably collapsed and it's going to start filling up with blood. So he will be in problem. He will have more problems later, the longer this is left alone. But for right now, he's not about to die.
Do I
He'll
know
live.
his name?
No.
Hey, buddy, it's your lucky day. We're having a sale on oxygen.
I'd like to,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, let me hook you up to this oxygen tank.
All right.
Les, shouldn't Dr. Wagner be the one down by the constabs, not Smitchy?
Oh,
Well,
Wagner, did you move Smitchy instead of your own
I
guy?
did. I grabbed the wrong. But it makes sense. Why would I want to put myself in danger?
That's a good point. All right. He says that his name, when you ask him, his name is Magomet.
Magomet. I had a hamster once named Magomet.
Yep.
We've
all been there.
What? Yeah.
We've all been there.
All right. Well, here's your oxygen. It's on sale, and remember the contract you signed.
How could I forget?
Okay, good. This oxygen will ease your breathing woes. And here, have this little vitamin that'll
Vitamin K.
okay. And my good man, you will be good for a while. I will see you soon.
So essentially, it's like a little portable tank of oxygen with a mouthpiece on it that you hand him and say that breathe this, and you should be better. You'll feel better.
Well,
And it's basically like a nitrox mix with a significantly larger amount of oxygen, I'm assuming.
It'll compensate for the lack of his him being on one lung.
Okay. He takes it gratefully and begins taking deep, if ragged breaths. You could tell, you can hear just from the sound of his chest that it's definitely a collapsed lung. The high oxygen content in that tank is starting, and the addition of vitamin K is starting to make him a little woozy, and he will probably pass out. You don't think that's necessarily going to be a problem?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Read this and you'll go to sleep forever. Forever.
All right, now go to the next ConStab.
All right, this guy is in a little bit worse shape. No stab wounds, but multiple impacts, including a couple of through and throughs. There's a lot of blood on the floor, and this guy is losing it quite swiftly. He also several of those impacts were on his abdomen. He's got some on his hand and arm. He's got others, but most of them were in his abdomen and around various places where his armor was, including it looks like one that pierced the armor and went into his chest. You're looking for blood. There's some coming out of his mouth. That's not a good sign. That means that his lungs are filling up with blood, or potentially his stomach, which generally is indicative of a pretty significant internal damage.
So I guess do I need to do triage, or was that roll for all of them?
Out of the two of them, this guy's much worse off.
All right. Well, I pull out a packet of Tang blood.
Okay.
O positive.
Gotcha.
And I put a little hypodermic.
I just want to point out that O negative is the universal donor.
Oh, that's what I meant. No. Great. So now I'm learning medicine.
He's filling up that beer cooler.
I was waiting for Les to say, no, this guy's positive or negative blood type. He dies.
Yeah, he dies.
I don't know how-
This is super techno. It's fruit stripe gum of blood. It has every flavor in there.
I got to be honest. I'm not 100% sure how the blood type thing works.
Oh,
As
negative
far as
is the
negative and
universal
positive,
donor.
negative can be given to anybody.
If you give
If you have
positive for someone
positive
with
blood, you
negative,
need positive blood. If you have negative blood, if you have positive blood, you can take either. If you have negative blood, you need negative blood.
The only way I remember my own blood type is I once, when I first learned it, I said, "Oh, it's the same as my attitude. Be
Be
positive.
negative.
Be positive." So I have positive blood, and both of my sons have positive blood, the same blood type. So I have the same blood type as both my sons. More or less, it's different. I can't remember. I think she's A positive, something like that. But okay, all right. So yeah, so you're gonna give him a little bit of coagulant and try and stop that bleeding, and then a little bit of something to ease his pain. You're not sure that you can. He needs surgery because he's got several ball bearings in his abdominal cavity.
Well, I just happen to have a red swing line stapler.
Ooh, all right. So you're gonna staple him shut. Just staple everything up in there and sprinkle it with sulfa drugs.
Yeah, just to kind of keep him in a holding pattern.
All right, this is a bit more strenuous than just examining the other guy. So I'm going to need you to make another medical roll. I'm assuming you're using your medicine skill and your edge again. This one is going to be a DC 21 roll. So in this case, with your medicine skill, that's going to take it down to, what's in 21 is 9 is, I can't do math, 12? 12. Edge will take it down to 9. So a 9 or better to succeed in stopping this guy's. So that's the raw score. Now this is without burning any powers or anything like that.
I'm not burning any powers.
Okay.
Well, hey man, what do I have to lose?
Well, nothing. You're sort of. You get close, but the blood is still coming out. You've got a partial victory there, but he doesn't have. Your guess is that he doesn't have more than 5 minutes before his blood pressure will drop due to lack of blood in his body.
So he's pretty well sedated, right?
Yeah. Oh no, did you give him some K?
Yeah.
Good.
So,
yeah, he's feeling it.
Did the shots go through all his vitals?
Your guess is that they to a certain extent did. Yeah, there's at least one. Your guess is at least by wound track and point of entry. You're guessing that at least one of those is in his liver. That's going to be probably the biggest problem. You've got a couple that look like they're in his stomach. A lung shot. He got hit a couple of times.
All right. Well, I'll be back to check on you later.
It's his own fault for doing his job.
Yeah. If he would have just talked to me.
and sadly, that means there's nothing harvestable on him.
Yeah, well, that's what I was asking, but I'm suspecting from the way Les described it, there could be kidneys and a heart available.
Kidneys seem fine.
Yeah, I groped him a little bit.
Gave him a little squeeze. Ooh, that's a good feeling. That's a nice feeling kidney. Sorry, I gotta write that down now too. Because you guys laugh. All right. This next guy, even worse. He's on death's door. You could take a shot at it, but it's going to be a DC 25 check to stabilize this guy. He's maybe got a couple of minutes.
Well, I got nothing to lose here.
Okay.
And, some organs to gain. So.
All right. So 25 minus 9 is 16. Minus 3 is 13. So that's the bear score, unless you want to.
We actually do have a timeline here. We need to get
19.
Great. And he seemed like he had harvestable stuff.
Well, I mean, you think there's a lot of blood on the floor, but your guess is that this guy, even though he seems in and out of, he's wavering in and out of consciousness. He doesn't respond to you when you ask him his name or anything like that. Most of his wounds are on his limbs, on his arms. There's not very many wounds to his abdomen. In fact, you can only detect one ball that seems to have gone in, and it was an in and out, and it went through mostly adipose tissue. Your thinking is that it didn't hit any major organ. The blood is from the fact that he nearly has one of his arms blown off, and it's bleeding out pretty significantly. But you were able to tie that off and do a quick cauterization, and you stopped that bleeding. So your guess is that while this guy has lost a lot of blood, he's probably going to make it.
Damn it.
I wanted those organs. I meant to roll low on this one.
No, we need to get going.
All right, so I hook him up to another dehydrated blood packet and
All right.
juice him up and keep him in stasis at least.
All right. Sounds good. So your guess is that you're going to lose this one, that he's going to die of his wounds, unless somebody gets to him pretty quickly. The other two will survive.
Okay, come on, Doc, we gotta go. Bring
Okay,
Smitchy with you. Bring Smitchy. Smitchy is coming with us.
where are we going?
Gin and tonic.
Yeah, the ship's just down at the end of the hallway.
South?
It's the
Okay.
big sign that says gin and tonic is here.
Yeah.
I steal a lot of maps from the
It's
thing.
some
It's-
cryptic code.
yeah, I make do with what I do the best with what I could find. So this was the best space dock I could find.
I had to scroll all the way down. Get over there, Smitchy. Quit grimacing.
He's stumbling and getting down there, and I assume the captain is doing that as well.
He's already down there.
Already down there. All right, so you guys get on the ship. The ship seems fine. Bishop, time to go to work. And Tam. So Tam, you need to push off as soon as Bishop can unlock the gravitic clamps. You need to push off, and so your job is to fire up all the fusion stuff and get Djinn working on the jump space coordinates.
I'm piloting. Yep.
You're
Well,
piloting. Go ahead.
First I need to try to free Djinn.
Right.
The clamps aren't the only
Oh,
thing.
that's right. The clamp is he's got interdictions on him.
I'm hoping that once I free Djinn, that Djinn can help me with the clamps.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go and log into the central and see what sort of stuff they have limiting the AI.
Okay. So these are typical. They never expected you guys to actually get on the ship and get access to this. So
Right.
the limits on the AI are actually quite rudimentary for somebody of yours. They've put an inhibition, meaning that Djinn is not allowed to help you guys in ways, nor allow anybody. And there's a list of names. Your name's not among them.
Yeah.
To access controls of the ship, launch things, turn stuff on and off. They basically block. It's essentially Djinn's not allowed to leave, and Djinn's not allowed to let any of the former crew do anything. Yeah, Djinn has not met Mallory either. That's a good point.
So when I get in there, I'm gonna look and see how difficult is it gonna be to free Djinn from all of these constraints. Now, they didn't use big ones because they didn't figure, like you said, they didn't figure we were gonna get in here.
Right.
So I have to assume they're fairly rudimentary. And since I'm not on the blocked user list,
Correct. You should
Right.
have access, but you know that if you
right,
Well,
I don't want
yeah.
to use that if I don't have to. So how hard is it going to be to free Djinn from the limitations? Just in general.
you're familiar. So the normal DC would be 25 to unhinge these things, and that includes both sets of things. However, you're familiar with a lot of, it's ConStab software, which you are familiar with. It's not federal software. So in this case, you get a bonus on that of 1 step. So it's a 21. Oh, I'm sorry, 22. 25 minus 3 is 22. Sorry, math difficult for me.
Right. All right. So with Hack the Impossible,
Okay.
that drops it down 6.
That's 16. Yep,
And
drops it down
then-
to 16.
Trained in using and exploiting computers. What does
Mhm.
trained get me?
Trained gets you so it gets you another step.
So what are we down to? 13?
16 minus 3 is 13. Correct.
So then edge gets down to 10.
Correct.
And if I spend an intellect point, it's 1 point per 3, right? Or is it 1 point per 1?
I think it's 1-to-1, but let me look real quick. I think it's 1-to-1, but let me make sure.
Now, two things, Les.
Yep.
I am also trained in computers,
Okay.
and I can disguise myself to look unlike me, someone that G&T has not met. Can I aid him?
Okay. So that is a DC 15 task.
Okay, -3 for being trained. And that would just be
Yes.
an
-3
aid.
for being trained, and you can use your edge. If you have edge and intellect, you can use that.
I don't have any edge in intellect, so I am just gonna roll a 12. See what I get. Ha ha! I aid. I rolled a 20.
Oh, hey, okay. So I had it wrong. It's neither of those things, Chuck. For every level of effort spent on a task, the task is easy. It costs 3 points from a stat pool to apply 1 point of effort, and it costs 2 additional points for every level. So it's 1-to-1 for the first one, and then it's cheaper for the second one. So the first one, you pay 3, you get 3. Okay. Then after that, you pay 2, you get 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for if you spend 5, you'll get 6 points back. If you spend 7, you get 9, and it just.
So I'm at a 10 now with
Correct.
skill, training, and hack the impossible, whatever.
Mhm.
So with no additional intellect spent, I'm at a 10.
Correct.
So I can spend 1 point of intellect for 3,
No, 3 points for 3.
3 points of intellect for 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 points of intellect. I'm trying to see.
For another 3.
So that would be
Benefit.
5. So I'm at 10. If I spend 3, I get 3. Now I'm at 7.
Correct.
Spend 2, I get 3. Now
You're
at
at
1.
4. No, 7 minus 4, 3 is 4.
So I get 4.
Right. You spend 5. If you spend 5 intellect points, you're going to take it down to a DC 4.
Right. And then if I spend 1 more, do I get the 3? Or
No, you have to spend 2 to get the 3. It
So
stays at 2.
2 more to get 3.
Mm-hmm. And it goes down to 1, which is essentially an auto.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get to, because this is too important to screw around with
Right.
dice.
Okay.
Well,
So
does my aid help? Was that factored in?
Oh yeah, the aid will bring it down. So if you spend the 5 to take it down to 4, Gawker's aid takes it another step. That will bring it down to 1.
Okay.
So you don't have
So
to
I'm-
spend. You spend 5.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend 5, which I have
Okay.
to spend 2 for hack the impossible. So that's 7.
7 total, correct?
And I have that much intellect left. Although
Okay.
soon I need to sleep.
What's your
Yeah.
intellect? What's your current intellect score?
20 down to 10.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend 7. And that makes it free.
Okay. All right. You have released Djinn's interdictions and
Right.
deleted them. Essentially, Djinn is now free to act with you and to assist the entirety of the crew. And I'm assuming you add Mallory to that as well.
Yeah, but and you
Yeah, so
said
we don't
that-
have to be disguised anymore, so.
you said the 25 was for both roles. So
Correct.
this was freeing Djinn and taking care of the gravity clamps.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
So you could Tam, you hear chuk, chuk, as the as vacuum again
Gravity
takes
clamps,
hold.
right.
The gravity clamps are released. Bishop, you will recognize that once those gravity clamps are released, there's no real way to shield that from
Right.
Oh,
Time,
yeah,
enforcement.
that everyone knows this.
yeah.
time is now of the essence.
Somebody in an office somewhere is going, hey, did we get an authorization for the G&T to leave? Because the gravity clamps just came off.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything about that? I didn't
We,
hear
we
anything.
must, We must have because the gravity clamps are off.
Yeah, did you hear that? And speaking of gravity clamps, welcome, Matt.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Hey,
Oh, Matt.
I was
How's
just
it going?
asking the adulation of Father's Day a little long.
Yeah, it's how was it? Did you have a good one?
Yeah, and my family bought me a brand new Super Weber grill, you know, like this ridiculous thing with Bluetooth and all this stuff. So, but then we decided to assemble it around, I don't know, 6:30, so it took forever to assemble it. And then I had to grill some steaks, and then we finished eating like in 9:30 my time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're glad you have it. My kids got me an ogre. If you
What-
can
what
see
do
that.
You have milk on your face here? What do you got on your face there, Les? Are you joining us in the beardo?
You did not know about this? I grew a beard.
That's
What do you
I
think?
haven't- I haven't seen. I like it. Yeah, thank you for joining the beardos.
Yep, I'm part of the crew.
Eric and Don, and I appreciate Doug. I'm sure the rest of you guys, you clean-shaven bastards, you need to get with the program.
Yeah, come on, Dan. You gotta grow a beard. And since you have red hair, your beard is going to be probably the same color as my beard.
Grow a beard and shave my head. Okay, got it.
Yep.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I keep threatening my wife that I'm going to do like a Just for Men shoe polish black in it as it goes gray. Just like red hair, shoe polish black beard. Yeah.
Grecian
like,
formula.
Who's that guy from
Grecian
the Actor
formula.
Studio? Remember the guy from the Actor Studio who had that Grecian formula beard? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the interviewer guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I
He's dead
forget.
now. But remember he had that greasy looking beard every time.
Yep. You know what killed him? The Grecian formula. It's too much. The OD.
Well, he wasn't supposed to eat it.
Looking
where
that
are we? I
good.
don't recognize where we are. It looks like we're inside inside a PlayStation. Where are we?
Uh,
We're in the GT.
so you're back on the gin and tonic. So
We got all the
basic.
blood on the floor.
There's a fair amount of blood on the
Well,
floor.
there's blood.
Yeah, there was an incident.
Mallory happened.
Mallory happened to them.
Mallory was here.
It was James Lipton, by the way. James Lipton.
That's it.
So are these people dead or just injured? Are we? I thought we were against killing cops.
We're gone. We're gone. Don't worry about them. They're
All right.
fine.
They're fine. Okay.
They're living on a farm in upstate New York.
They're living on a farm.
They're very happy there. But yeah, you guys have gotten on the gin and tonic, and the gravitic clamps are now released. Theoretically, Don,
Time to
you
go.
have it's time to go.
Okay, Tam, let's get.
I'm running to the
The bridge.
bridge.
I assume you were already on the bridge. That's where you would have
taking
gone
off.
first, right?
I'm taking off.
Okay. Give me just a quick just to make sure everything's happening because you're rushing through the startup procedures and all that. Give me a quick technology roll, a pilot roll. What skills do you have? Hold on, I gotta open up here.
I'm trained in piloting, computers, repairing, and vehicle driving.
Okay. Pick one of those. Do I have your yeah, I do. Here's Gawker.
You should.
I got it. All right. In this case, piloting. So you are trained in piloting, which means you get a step. This is, in this case, this is probably a speed check. You're trying to hurry. So I'm going to allow you to use your speed edge as
I've
it
got the
applies
edge,
to
yep.
this. So yeah. And you know the systems. So give me a quick roll.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Is that
Damn.
2 in a row?
That is
Hold
2 in a row.
Hold on, screenshotting.
Nice.
And you know it is because Weber Jix said howdy folks between.
In between.
Between the two.
All right, hold on. I'm screenshotting that for the inevitable complaints. Got it. Thank you. All right, 2 natural 20. So yeah, so you get out there. Jin's like, glad to see you, sir. Welcome back to the bridge of the gin and tonic.
I've
How
missed
can
you.
I says I've missed you.
Let's get out of here.
Jin, you have changed. Jin, what have they done to you? All right, so you guys take off. So we're gonna hand wave a little bit of this, but here's what's happened. As soon as you guys get a head start. But it's a 4-hour. I mean, you guys are hauling as fast as you can, but it is a 4-hour trip under fusion drive to get out to the LaGrange point. Not long after you leave, maybe 30 to 40 minutes, Djinn alerts you guys to the fact that there are now 2 ConStab interceptors have deployed from the station and are heading at high speed in your direction. A couple of quick calculations from Djinn and Tam. You come to conclusion that considering their speed and your speed, they're probably going to get within gun range about 40 minutes before you reach the LaGrange point.
And how does
Maybe
their
they're
gun range
flying
compare to
out
our
to
gun
thank
range?
me.
I'm sorry?
Said maybe they're flying out to thank me.
2 out of 3
Yeah,
ain't bad.
for saving 2 of the 3 police that we shot.
Hey, it's better than anyone else that you could do.
So it's gonna take 4 hours to get to the LaGrange point,
Mhm.
and they're gonna catch us 40 minutes before that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to ask, who was the one who said that they had the pilot's busy? So basically, I'm gonna ask whoever else in the crew
Mhm.
to point me to a bedroom. I need to rest.
Okay. There are plenty of not plenty. There are staterooms.
I think I see Eric is cosplaying as Quato today.
Yeah. He's having an extended Father's Day as well.
Get your ass to the Mars. Nah.
All right, so here you go. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 8 staterooms, of which 5 are currently taken.
Yeah, there's 2 in the back over here are empty. And there's a third. Yeah, there's a bunch empty there. Anyone doesn't have a name in it.
So
It could be yours. Choose one.
I'll get directed to this one.
Okay.
What happened to my name? It disappeared. Put it back.
Did
No.
I? Oh,
Somebody did. There we go.
there we go. Sorry. Yeah, your stateroom, Weber, has like cases of Tooficky and Scotch in it.
Yeah, that's my decor choice.
That's your jam.
Yeah.
And
All
my,
right, so
my icon's not on here.
no, nobody's is.
Everyone
Oh,
needs to know that I have like a printer label system where I'm printing faux Tooficky and Scotch to turn that fake stuff into and keep the real stuff.
All right, and so this room here was historically been used as the prison when you guys have taken prisoners for torture and later attempted murder. That's where you kept them.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're gonna stick. I'm assuming you're gonna stick Smitchy in there.
well, wait a minute. Subconsciously, I don't want to be right next to that. So maybe the next room up.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't want to be next to the prison.
Oh no,
Forfeit?
this room is you're sort of across the hall from the prison.
Yeah, move me away from the prison.
Okay, you don't want to be next to Smitchy.
Coffin Doyle's now going to be what's his name's room? Mallory's room.
Yeah, it's gonna be Mallory's room. He also-
Well, he really spent more time in the prison, so you might be more comfortable in there, Mallory. You'll see his handiwork of blood spatters on the wall, a bent ladle on the floor.
And I'm going to crash for an hour because that's the next recovery period.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. So because of the because they will catch up to you before you reach the LaGrange point, there's something that we have to do.
You haven't talked about the weapons yet, right? Didn't our
We
buddy
got
Sergey put a bunch of stuff on?
So yeah, so I'm going to
Activate the death blossom, Les.
what is the thing that they do in that
last
in
Starfighter?
Galaxy Quest?
Oh, Omega 13.
No, Omega 13.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the death blossom from Last Starfighter.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's more fitting.
Are you so you guys can you guys see this Starfield
This-
essentially?
This Starfleet
Yes.
battles,
It'll be a slaughter. That's
Yeah.
the spirit.
That's the spirit. All right, so
They need to remake that one. That's a classic.
as they approach, you guys are heading to the LaGrange point. So the interceptors are technically to your rear. They have split up a little more. So I'm going to point you in the right direction. They have split to a certain extent. So they're coming from sort of like aft left and aft right, and they're following you. Here's the interceptors, by the way. So you can see these here. I'll show you what those look like. ConStab interceptor. It's a one-man. It's a one-man ship. Coming
a
after you.
Space UPS vehicle.
Yeah. What can Brown do for you? Well, take you back into custody. That's what Brown wants to do. And here's you guys, as you know, heading your way. So basically what we're going to do, and Don and I have talked about this. What we've done is, so I think I've mentioned it before, but every year at DICON or at Archon, the local convention, Don runs a Starfinder game that's utterly ship combat. So I'm not a huge fan of Starfinder as a game, but one thing that they absolutely did well was spaceship combat. The rules for Starfinder spaceship combat are far superior.
I have to look this one up.
Yeah, it's Pathfinder's space game.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like old school, like Starfire and Starfleet battles and all those.
No. Well, no, no, I couldn't inflict that much pain on you guys. The Starfleet battles.
We'd be here until we were 100 years old.
No, I couldn't do that. But the Starfinder rules are excellent, and one of the really superior elements of the Starfinder rules is the fact that it involves everyone, not just one guy rolling the guns, right? Everyone has a job to do, and everyone can do a job in a ship-to-ship combat situation. In this case, Don, being much more familiar with these rules than I have, we worked together and built both the interceptors and the Djinn and Tonic in Starfinder terms, so for the purpose of this, and we're going to have a space battle. How's that sound?
Excellent.
Sound good to everybody?
Very scary.
So at this point,
I should have done this earlier, but everyone look at your email. I just sent a player handout for this.
Okay, looking.
Okay, I'm looking, nothing yet.
Do I have to have this notarized and sent back?
No.
No.
And I just sent it out. So
yeah, this is a real.
Got it.
did you get it?
I got it, yeah.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, Starfinder handout. Got it.
All right. So first thing first is let's talk about the ships. And I don't know, Don, do you want to share your screen and show them the ship charts?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to stop sharing. So the things that Don's going to show you guys are a Starfinder ship charts, which essentially outlines the most of it. He and I worked together on this, and I've tried to essentially build the Djinn and Tonic from the point of view of the Starfinder rules. So you can see here, the Djinn and Tonic is a large, heavy freighter. It has a tri-node computer. It has 120 hit points, and an AC of 14. And that's TL's tech level, right?
No, TL is tracking for like torpedoes.
Okay, gotcha.
Don't have to worry about that this time. So
Dan, as you will recall, what you purchased from Sergey was modifications to Djinn to handle the weapons and a pair of turrets, each with 2 light laser cannons. Now, in this case, it shows. Scroll back up, would you?
Okay.
It says a range of 5. That's wrong. These have a range of 10.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the Djinn and Tonic. The other ships we're not going to show you right now, but you can determine some of the aspects of the capabilities of those ships by using scans, and the science officer will use the scans.
Let's do this.
Okay.
So there are different roles that crew members can have during ship combat. Okay. One person and one person only can be captain. Who wants to be the captain? Who is the captain?
Shouldn't the captain be the captain?
I think the captain should be a captain. unless you have a skill that's better as a gunner or a pilot. But I think we got a pilot too, because Tam's a pilot, right?
Yeah.
Tam's a pilot historically, yeah.
And so I feel like I could probably be a gunner or a science officer, engineer, probably. Well, maybe gunner should be one of the people who love guns. I don't know. There's a guy here I know who's really fun.
Well, so you can have 2 gunners. In this case, you have 2 turrets. One is a forward arc turret. The other is a 360. So right now, you can only bring to bear, since you're running away, you can only bring your 360 turret to bear. But if you were to turn around and fight these guys, you would be able to bring in your second turret.
Who's better as an engineer and a science officer? Do we even need a science officer in this particular?
Yes.
The science officer is an important job. There's a lot of things going on that the science officer can do.
I think most of the skill sets I have don't necessarily equate to these particularly well. I usually try to talk you guys out of, getting yourselves killed, so.
You want to take over a gun?
I think I'll take a gun.
Alright.
Whatever gun is the one that we depend on least, so that's the 360.
They're the same two guns. There's no difference.
Well, one's a rotating and one's a forward mount, right? So.
Yeah, we're not gonna probably use the forward mount one though.
Well, it depends. If the captain orders to turn and fight, because
true.
they have caught up with you. They will catch up with
They
you
will catch
before
up
you
to
get
us.
to
There will
LaGrange.
be a fight, actually. You're right. Yes, Jix takes the front gun.
Maybe McFarland, I'm sorry, what's his name? Sorry, Eric.
Dr. Wagner?
What shouldn't Wagner be the science officer, maybe?
Yeah.
What about
Yeah, let's make Wagner.
Mallory? Should Mallory be the other gunner? I assume he's nothing but gun skills, right? Or heavily on
Mallory
guns?
Graves. I got Graves.
Mallory Graves, yeah.
Well, science officer is all about computers.
Well, I have computer skills.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and then Chuck, maybe you're good with engineering?
I can be either engineering or science.
Okay, so,
Okay, you can go back and forth between the two.
okay,
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, so in Starfinder, there's usually ranks and totals and everything. We didn't really correlate this out or anything like that.
We can.
Jix, how good are you at fighting?
I mean, I would say that it's not, at least on the old skills, it was not my best, but that said, I probably shot more people than anybody else. Successfully, but with a body pistol, so they hardly ever died.
Mhm.
Let's,
So hold on.
let's,
Let me get Weber's character sheet up.
thank you.
okay,
All right, so
I'm all about persuasion and evasion and disguise and smuggling. You don't necessarily fix those buildings.
well, it sounds like looks like some of the captain's actions might be because you can intimidate,
diplomacy,
encourage,
intimidation, attacking, piloting.
encouragement. Yeah.
Yeah, I got all
these
that.
are all
kind of
the
stuff, like-
all the talky bluff,
So
intimidate.
so maybe Captain Black defers the captain's chair to Jix and takes a gun.
I can do that.
All
I
right,
thought I read too that the captain can do like move anywhere, right?
The captain,
can we just open a second, like a window on the thing and just fire your hand weapon out of it because you have an arm?
no,
Yeah.
no, you
Let's just
cannot.
open the spaceship screen door.
Yeah.
And Matt, technically none of us has ship gunning skills, so
Right,
you're
right,
not
right, yeah.
unskilled in it any more than any of us are, right?
No, so is this rotating thing a ball turret?
Yes, the 360
Yeah.
is, yeah. If you're
Anybody
gonna
else
be that
remember
guy.
that from high school? Ode to the ball turret gunner?
Mm-hmm.
And the last lines of that poem is, and they washed him out with a hose.
Yep.
Oh,
After a belly landing.
yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like the gunner actions use piloting or decks. Or
Yes.
piloting ranks plus decks plus bonuses plus range penalty.
Ah,
So
okay.
Les, do you want to kind of just stick with the stats I had here for?
We could. Well, I mean, is Captain Black gonna let Jix do the captain's job?
We can switch.
Well, let's start me out there and then we switch out if there's something that seems like it might be a better fit for you.
So Dex check in this case would be a speed, would be analogous to the speed ability score
Under the old traveler stuff?
under the new cipher stuff.
Got it.
You have my thing up, Les? Because I don't have it up.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Am I a badass?
So your speed is I have 11 and you have intellect of 1 and edge there. So in your intellect, but your skills are deception, cryptography, perception, persuading, and seeing through deception.
Yep. I'll talk trash about them on screen. No, you gave me the, I said,
Well,
kill monitor.
Some of them do that. I mean, you can do. So the captain's thing, he can demand, which means he does basically an intimidate check to demand that a crew member improve their performance. He can encourage, which is like a diplomacy check, which would be more in line with what your thing is. He can taunt, which is an intimidate check, or be a persuade check, where you can taunt an enemy ship, and at success it makes their performance worse. You can give orders, which is your primary role, or you have something called a moving speech, where you give a moving speech during one combat phase. If you succeed, it basically lets people roll twice and take the better result.
So somewhere between Marco Ramius and the president from Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One ping only, Vasily. All right. So then engineering. So this is what, before we get there, Don, let's before we talk about that, do we have lockdown who's going to do what roles?
Yeah.
I volunteered Eric for his role, but are you fine with it, Eric, or do you want to do something else?
Is Jix gonna be captain?
Yeah, put Jix as captain. Where my question comes in is, given my new character's skills and backgrounds, I might be a really good engineer. He has the ability to talk to machines
Rather
repair
than
craft,
a
and
gunner too?
manipulate them. But I don't know what Bishop has there.
Well, let's compare. So Bishop,
I have machine interface,
I have that too.
tinker, yeah, and then I have trained in machines identifying or understanding, using, repairing, or crafting.
I have the same ones. Okay. So
Yeah,
it
Nursing,
doesn't matter.
AC repair,
You have
criminology, justice.
the same machine stuff that I do.
Yes.
So we could both, either one of us could do engineering. What's your intellect skill?
Just
Now-
a 10.
Mine's 20. But-
Depending on what we need also, more than one person can be an engineer, more than one person can be a gunner, and more than one person can be a science officer.
Because you can move. Yeah.
Yeah. But the
Okay.
other
Only,
thing, to
Gunner
only
is
one
high
person
on
can be the captain role each round, and you can even change that round by round,
yeah,
and only one person can be a pilot.
And you said gunner is high. You want to have a high speed for that?
well, yeah, we're trying to make a bit of a square peg fit in a
I
round
think,
hole here.
yeah, I think speed would be the right thing, because you're trying to aim fast and
Yeah, speed is roughly analogous to dex.
yeah.
I got a 16 there, so that's a better stat for me.
At speed.
Yeah.
Okay. Bishop, where your speed is 9?
9.
Okay.
And as far as intellect is concerned, I have a 20, but it's only at a 6 right now. I just rolled the recovery roll because I've been doing a lot of
resting
stuff.
for a couple
So,
hours.
well, I rested for an hour, which was my next level. So I get a
Okay.
D6 plus 1 for that. But I used all that intellect rolls to hack all that shit so we could get off the station.
All right.
So I've only got 6 left. So currently, he would probably be a better engineer. And so with the way that this character is set up, he can function as either an engineer or a science officer. So mechanics or computers. But he's not in a great spot for either of them because he didn't recover very much intellect.
Right.
I didn't roll very well either any of the times I
Well,
did
let's-
any recoveries.
Maybe still have you start as an engineer, but if anything goes wrong or you need help, I can swap out and help you.
Yeah. The other thing was I only took an hour to rest. So I was thinking, is it possible, and this may not be, that once he woke up and sort of got his bearings, could he check into the engine efficiency? And is there anything that he can do to shave 40 minutes off our trip? Because if we can get to where we can go to jump in 41 minutes, there's no fight to worry about because they're not going to catch us till 40. Does that make sense?
Yeah, So, I mean, when you check on the engineering things, you consult with Tam and you consult with Djinn, and Jinn's running flat out. He's not holding anything back. These interceptors are fast, is the
Yeah,
problem.
well,
There's-
right, but there's no efficiency to find or changing the fuel mix to make it burn a little faster. It might be inefficient as far as fuel consumption is concerned. But the question was, is there any way to get to jump space and beat out these interceptors?
Before these interceptors, no, there won't be any way.
If there's any beating off being done, that's your job.
Well,
I'm
let
gonna,
me,
as
let
an
me,
old,
let me,
old hand,
let me,
I'm gonna,
wait,
go ahead.
wait, let me show you something. So engineering actions, okay? One of the things you can do is divert during the engineering phase.
Yeah,
Right.
to increase the engine's output, but it's not gonna be enough.
Well, you can increase your starship speed, increase by 2. So let's say we do that, and now it's 20 minutes. They catch us 20 minutes before we get there. Okay, so we still have to fight these things. You were able to boost our speed a little bit, but not enough to avoid the combat. I just want to
So-
point this out so that when we start the thing and you're looking at this, you don't say, hey, look, I could have, increased the speed by 2.
Right, but what is that? Is it like DC 20? And how many times could we do it before they catch us? My whole question was, can we avoid a fight by
Right, and you
just
can't, we can't.
adjusting stuff to get faster?
Yeah. So, I mean, it would
Wait,
take.
as an
it's-
old hand, I would say, I'll take Bishop aside and say, hey, look, I don't know if you were paying attention, but the battle map was already shown. So there's pretty much no way we're gonna be able to get out of this combat. So you just have to grit it and we have to do what we can. If you were able to make this case before the battle map was shown, it could have been a world of difference.
Well, yeah, I sort of built this as a set piece.
Yeah.
So
Probably if I could have made this a case before he sent out the battle rules, that's what would have happened. He sent him out saying this might not be needed, but read up, which is basically saying ignore the first half of that sentence and read
We're gonna
up.
need it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I
Well,
mean,
if we had died on board the space station.
yeah. What kind of space game doesn't have a spaceship battle, man? This is we got to do this.
Yeah, we never had one.
We haven't had one. We've been playing this game for a couple of years now.
I think 3 years less, 3 or more.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And it's not that Bishop's a coward. He's just not good at fighting. So solving problems without having to fight, that's his wheelhouse.
Well, that's sort of the beauty of these rule sets is that Bishop's skills can have direct impact on this battle, success or failure. So it's not like he's just going to sit back and say, I can't do anything. You're going to be able to do stuff.
He might go hide in his room.
He could, yeah.
But yeah, no, I get it. It's all good.
All right, cool. I'm glad.
I just wanted to ask that question. Because, like I said, if we could speed up by 41 minutes, we could avoid all of this, but that's not possible. So we're going to have to deal with the outcome of having to fight these guys off, at least for some period in time until we can jump.
That's the spirit.
So the next question is, how much can we speed it up so that the time we have to fight them off is less before we have to jump?
So like I said, make it rather than 40 minutes, it's 20 minutes.
Yeah, it would be
but
20
we'll
minutes.
Still give you a full combat.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
20 minutes is going to be action packed. So
Yeah. And is it worth it? Because I might be able to do it, but I might not. With the training and the machine interface and edge, I've still only got 6 intellect to spend to try to lower that DC.
okay.
Can you spend an hour getting more back?
No, the next level is 10 hours.
Oh yeah, we don't have 10, so.
Right. So once we get to jump space, Bishop's going to crash.
Right.
And I haven't yet figured out, that's another question aside, really. How long do you have to rest before you get all of it back? Because rolling a D6 +1 And I get that on the shorter rest, like one action, 10
Yeah.
minutes, 1 hour.
10-hour increments.
When
You
you-
keep rolling.
When you do the 10-hour sleep, do you get all of it back?
I don't think so. I think you get 1d6 per 10 hours of rest. It doesn't have to be all sleep. Like you don't have to be unconscious for 10 hours, but you have to be outside of an adventuring conditions and not doing anything very strenuous for 10 hours. So for say you've lost 20 points, right, off of your intellect skill, and you need to acquire 20 more points. The first 10 hours you roll d6, you get a 5. The next 10 hours that you rest, you roll d6, you get a 5, and it takes 40 hours for you to get to full.
Well, in the recovery section, there are 4 boxes.
Right.
So when I go to the next one, when I rest for 10 hours, after that, the next rest is 1 action again.
No, it's another 10 hours. It stops at 10 hours. The recovery clock resets when you get back to full.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Now
Okay, cool.
Now I understand.
Yeah, it's once you've recovered fully, then it resets the recover, and then the next time you burn points, it's 1 action, 10 minutes, 1 hour. The idea is that in normal life, you would not burn points in the same volume that you would something else. Like you would concentrate really hard for a minute, but that would only take a couple of minutes for you to get back.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. All right.
So the next time I rest, I'm sleeping for a week.
Well, if you guys make it a jump space, a jump 3 takes a week. So you'll have the time you need.
I'll need a catheter and an IV from the doctor. Don't wake me up.
And a kidney.
No, I don't need a kidney. Thank you very much.
Hey,
You know the
nothing
doctor's
wrong with
rules.
Having a third, you never know.
You know the doctor's rules. Take a kidney, leave a kidney.
And I don't want any K.
You don't want any vitamin K? Everybody loves vitamin K.
I don't want any vitamin K.
I
That
missed
seems,
last time. Did you get him to eat some tiger penis jerky to really
that
help his?
seems that seems the antithesis of getting your intellect back.
Yeah, it does. It has a negative effect on intellect. All right, everybody cool with this?
I think you got it.
You got everybody's roles
let's give it a
are locked
shot.
in.
Don will help me if I don't.
Yep. I think Don's going to help us all because he's the guy who knows these rules. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you can do in your individual jobs, right?
Okay, let's go to captains.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, there's 3 phases. Okay. First phase is engineering. The engineers can like patch a ship, hold it together, divert energy. They've got a couple of things they can do. We're going to go over those in a second here. Okay.
Yep.
And then there's helm, in which case the pilot does a piloting check, which is basically you roll initiative every round. Okay. And that's the piloting check. The lower your number, the sooner you go. So the highest piloting check gets to go last and see what the other guys have done. Okay.
It gives you an advantage in maneuvering because once you've committed to something, then low rolls go first. It's the opposite of like combat.
Right. But that's also why you roll every round so that you don't just roll once and then you're screwed forever if you had one bad roll. So that goes every round. Science officers can also do checks. They can use the scanners to scan the other ship to find out information about them, such as strength, armament, all this other stuff. And science officers can do a couple other things. And then the third phase is gunnery, where the gunners are just shooting at the ship if it's within range with whatever gun they want to use. A gunner can only fire one weapon. Okay. Now, in our case, we have 4 weapons, but each of them are linked. So we actually have two people can be gunners. One's on a turret that can face any direction. The other one's on a forward arc, so it has to be a target in front of us. Okay.
No
So that's
photon
the 3
torpedoes.
phases of combat: engineering, helm, and gunnery. Okay. Captain actions. He can do a demand, which is you grant +4 to any particular check. It's an intimidation check of DC 25. Now we're gonna adjust the DCs here based on cipher rules. We'll work that out and everything.
Right.
And he can only do a demand. I think he can only demand once per individual per combat. Yeah, an individual combat only once per combat. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Good job.
But he can encourage over and over again. Now encourage is only +2 rather than +4, but you can do it multiple times and it's less stressful for the other people. And
So just scanning through this, I was thinking that maybe that once we get into combat, this is more important than these than like earlier on when they're still chasing us, right? Like I don't need to do these.
these are not important while they're chasing us.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Right.
Okay.
And then taunt is actually taunting, using communications to taunt the other enemies.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm happy to do that.
So those are the 3 captain actions.
Be careful, I will taunt you a second time. Okay, thank you, Don. I'm on it.
I
Yep.
wave my private parts at your aunties. You
Engineering
Gotcha.
actions, you can divert, hold it together, or patch. Okay. Now, patch doesn't enter into anything until we start taking damage and parts of our systems go bad. That's when you want to start patching them up. Hold it together is kind of like a jury rigged patch. You spend less time fixing something, but it's not permanent. It's just a temporary thing. So early on, mainly what you're going to do is you're going to divert. Okay.
And usually those diversions are for shields. Now, in this case, the gin and tonic doesn't have shields.
Well, this isn't the science officer does shields.
Okay.
This is engineering for like oh yeah, you can do shields and restore shields. He doesn't
That's to clarify,
allocate them,
we
but he
don't have
restores
shields,
shields,
right?
but we don't have shields. So you can, what you're gonna do is you're basically gonna do things to increase the speed by 2 for that round. You're gonna give a +2 to the science officer or other crew members. Okay, that's what you're gonna basically be doing most of the time early on before you start patching. Okay. Gunner, basically fire at will. One gunner can do a fire at will. He just attacks using all the weapons, but it's at -4. We're not going to worry about that. Well, he can use any 2 starship weapons. We only have 2, basically, but at -4. We have 2 people who can be gunners, so don't do that. Basically, the gunner's just going to shoot. You fire 1 weapon at that weapon's arc. If it's a turret gun, it's any arc.
Now keep in mind we have 2 light laser cannons in each turret, so they are linked. So you would be essentially it's 2 guns, but you either hit or miss. If you fire them, you either hit with both or miss with both.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the science officer actions. Balance is where you would balance the shields.
Right.
Again, we don't have any, but you can also scan. Use a computer check, and depending on how well you do, you get basic information, defenses, weapon, load, and other. Basically, for this combat, these first 3 are the main ones. Okay, because these interceptors, we know that they don't have cargo holds or luxury guest accommodations or anything like that.
Yeah, they're essentially cop cars.
Right. So you're going to use scan and target system. Target system can help the gunner aim, basically.
Yeah, it's basically you could say we're going to target their life support system.
Right.
Once you've located, once you've done enough scanning to know what their ship has and where it's located, you can actually feed that information into the gunnery computer, and it'll say, "I want to target life support," or "I want to target their engine and stop them." See, this would be something that if to Chuck's earlier point where he's like, how do we increase speed? Well, maybe you can't increase speed of the gin and tonic, but you can certainly decrease their speed and keep them from catching up with you, which gives you the room you need to get to the LaGrange point before they overtake you.
Okay.
And in the piloting actions, there's fly, maneuver, and stunt. Stunt is a push thing. We don't have push because we're at tier 2 and 3, so we don't have to worry about anything that says push, basically. But maneuver, there are certain maneuvers that you can do, such as
Barrel rolls, flip and
barrel
burn, flip
rolls,
and
so you can
burn.
fire from more arcs at the same time.
You could still do flip and burns and stuff like
Power
that.
flip and burns. Yeah, we can do flip and burns. Just different things. So.
Alles klar.
Yeah,
Pardon?
ready to give it a shot anyway. I don't think it'll be really clear till I actually roll. some
It does.
stuff.
It seems a bit challenging now, but once you get into it, it starts to become more natural.
After round 3, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing next. As soon as
Yeah.
it's my turn again. And okay, so phase 1, round 1. Les, I don't know how you want to mark this.
Okay.
I'm going to stop sharing so we can see the starship again. Okay.
Yep. All right. Round 1. We start out with these positions. Oh, I gotta share. Hold on a second. Let me share my things. That's not the one I want. I want this one. All right. Can you guys see that screen?
Yes.
And you should have it on your own computers as well in Roll20. All right, so you can
Yeah.
see 2 interceptors. They are coming. This one is like headed due south, galactic south. This one is coming to the southwest. Your ship is here and moving away. When you realize that I'm actually gonna. So if you go too far, yeah, it's gonna. You don't have the turn radius, so we'll have to rig it. But yeah, so they're chasing after you, and you realize Bishop and Tam both come to both of you at the same time and say, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it to the LaGrange point. We need to do something. And I assume, Captain Gray, you say something along the lines of, well, if we have to fight, let's give them it all. Mallory, get the spoon.
Stations.
Battle stations. All right. All right, so Don, we roll for initiative, correct?
No.
Okay.
So first thing every round is engineering.
Okay.
So your engineer can do one of his actions, and basically the most thing you want to do right now is divert power engine phase. You roll a DC check to see if you can either add 2 to speed or +2 to
the science officer.
Science officers.
You can send additional power to the science officer.
Right. You can also send it to ship weapons. I wouldn't do that now, but you can send it to ship weapons, and it does extra damage.
Right. It turns
Okay.
your ones
Ones into twos.
It turns them into
Anytime
twos.
you roll a 1, it's a 2, and then okay.
All right.
So
Ship's
this
engineer, that's Chuck, right?
Well, there was somebody else who had engineering skill too. That's what I was going to ask.
Bishop Hawke
Yeah,
is
I'm
what I
on
have down for
guns though,
engineering.
because my speed is better than my intellect.
Okay, so I'm taking the engineering role.
Yeah.
Right now, why don't both of you do it?
Okay.
Sure.
If one of them does a speed increase, the other one can do a pluses to the science officer.
Okay.
So right now the divert DC is 10 plus 1.5 of the ship tier, which is 3. So I'm ruling that's a DC 15.
And that's for increasing speed.
It's for either of them. If
Increasing
you,
speed or giving a +2 to the science officer.
yeah, or additional damage to the weapons, but that's not a thing you're going to do probably this round.
Right.
Because you don't. There's no
Yeah,
weapons in there. You have so keep in mind that you have your weapons, your lasers have a range of 10 hexes. That may come up later.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
You wanna
looking
go-
at, we're at least 30 hexes out, it looks like.
Right now, yeah.
You want to go first, Dan? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, so what pluses do we get for the skills we have?
All right, so
27.
in Bishop's,
It's a DC, what, 15?
it's a DC 15.
So you get -3 for machine interface,
Okay,
right?
Yep.
So that's 12.
And that's your
And-
that's your intellect edge, right? You're using that?
No, that's machine interface.
Machine
is actually
interface.
a special ability.
that we both have.
Yeah,
But it has a cost.
1 point,
Right, 1 intellect point.
1 intellect point. So that gives a 3-point reduction. 'Cause
In
we're
the difficulty, correct. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You're right. Okay. I was
we're
thinking the other way.
interfacing with the machine as opposed to typing on the keyboard.
Right.
And then
Right.
trained in machines, all the various versions of that is another 3-point reduction.
Correct. So that brings it to a 9.
So that brings it to a 9. Edge and intellect
6.
brings it to a 6. So without
I don't
spending,
have that, so I'm at a 9.
so without spending anything more except for the 1 intellect point, it would be a DC 6 to try to increase our speed.
So
Correct.
Chuck, you do speed, Dan, you do help the science officer.
Okay,
Okay,
so D20. That's a D100. Let's not do that.
Oh, that's cheating. All right.
So
I
that's the
failed.
difficulty.
A bishop succeeds. Captain Black fails. So in this case, Bishop, you have successfully tortured the engines to the extent that they are giving you an additional +2 on your speed, making, I believe, your speed 8. 8 hexes
Yes.
per round. Okay.
Yes,
For this round only.
for this round only.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, let me see. I've got my own cheat sheet here, which apparently is giving me bad information. So hold on a second.
Okay,
Uh,
now the next round is Helm.
All right. I
So-
have, yeah, okay. I have Helm. So is this when,
Science officer piloting all happened this round, during this.
I have piloting and science, correct?
Right, now the captain can act anytime.
Correct, yeah.
So, Jix, you could
Yes,
have
sir.
encouraged or anything like that during the engineering. Let's go ahead, Captain, wait until gunnery.
Okay, yeah, I thought maybe I was supposed to wait till we get to combat, but yeah, I'm happy to encourage. You said I can do courage over and over again. The other ones I can only do once per combat, right?
Right. Encourage you can do over and over again. Demand you have to only do once. So you want to save that.
Once per
person.
character, yeah.
Once
So
per
you could,
character.
so basically it's threatening people. You could say, look,
Oh.
don't make me come down there and kick your ass. Now do your job. And that get, that kind of thing. But you can only do that once per encounter for each character. You can do it to other people. You can threaten other people.
Right.
That sounds like my kind of
Okay.
job. You piece of crap! I'm gonna come down there and rip off your head.
So right now we roll a piloting check, which is basically initiative.
Mhm.
What is my initiative bonus, Les?
Your Anish bone. Hold on a second. I don't have do I have Gawker up? Yes, I do have Gawker up. All right. So you have piloting skill. So let's your special abilities, extra edge of speed, hacker, no, tech skills, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you basically so it starts out you roll a d20 plus your skill, which would be in this case it's trained, so you would have +3.
Okay.
In the I think because it in the game it rewards dex. So in this case, I think dex is analogous to speed. So you have
speed.
edge, so that adds another +3.
Okay.
And if you want to burn speed pole, you can. But right now you're at d20 +6 on an ish.
Okay. Right now I'm just going to do the +6.
Okay.
Advanced roller D20.
And then I have to roll for my guys. Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. So, and then for the interceptors, they are trained pilots. They get +3. I don't know. Hold on. Let me check to see what the interceptor pilot thing is. I got to check. Hold on, I'm sorry, this is taking long. All right, they are. Where are my pilots? Sorry, I didn't have these ready.
That's it. I'm not playing anymore.
You're out. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I found them. So their speed is. So their speed is. So they don't have any edge. So they're just at +3. Let me get back to the thing. Rolling. I don't like the new dice roller.
I can't click on the our ship.
Oh, hold on, I'll fix that. All right, so I'm rolling an ish 9. So I go first.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on, let me fix the ship. Make sure everybody can move it.
Wait,
Try now.
I forgot
I
to
can move
ask,
him. Okay.
who can do the most important part of making the battle sounds when we get closer? I got my third. Wait, I'm gonna channel my old Star Trek combat sound. And then
Here
if
we
we
go.
get
I got. All right. So this guy is going to fly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to there. And this guy is going to, he's going to approach as well. And you are being hailed. This is ConStab, interceptors, and then there's a string of numbers. Do not arm your weapons. Do not attempt to fire on us. Turn off your fusion drive and prepare to be boarded. We are our intention is to take the ship and the crew into custody.
Sorry. No.
So that, I don't know if that counts as a taunt.
Tricky.
I think I feel like as GM, that does count as a taunt. So I'm going to see. So in this case, it's DC 15 plus that bluff or intimidate check. Do they have anything? This would be
Okay.
stealth. No, I'm going to try and taunt. I'm going to use it
So
as a
which
taunt.
one is doing it?
It's this one here.
Okay.
See that? He's going to try and taunt you, basically say, this is what you have done. And we're going to try that. So it's a DC of 15 plus that. The tier in this case, all right, so that's a 17, sorry. And he's going to use none of these. Oh, meets out justice. So he's going to all right, he is going to use his make judgment skill, and that's going to take that down a step. So he's going to try and taunt you at a 14, DC 14. And I think he's taunting the captain.
What? Nobody taunts me.
And over subspace radio, you can hear Mallory in the gun area laughing as he was laughing before. It's a reverse taunt. He taunted himself.
Okay, so this guy can no longer taunt us this combat.
Correct.
So go ahead and put like a little yellow thing on him.
Taunting device on there, yeah.
Okay, so he cannot taunt.
Okay, so they've both moved. Now it's our turn.
Correct.
Our maneuverability, we can move 8 this time, In order for us to turn, we have to move forward 2 spaces and then shift
turn.
1 phase. So
Yeah, because interceptors. So just to give you an idea, the interceptors have a 0 turn mode, which means they can turn after no. I mean, they could spin in their hex if they want to, right, Don?
right.
Because they're so small and maneuverable. The Djinn and Tonic is a freighter. It's not used to turning on a dime, so it's got to move 2 squares in the direction that it's pointed, and then it can turn. But it can turn every 2 squares. 1-1 turn, 1-1 turn, that kind of thing.
Okay.
It can go farther straight before turning, but it can't turn before it goes 2 in that direction. So I've just moved 8 hexes and I've turned us to face a different direction.
Banged a Yui?
Kind of. I'm going to try to get close to this guy. I'm going to try to get down to here
Okay.
where we're close enough to this guy where we can fire without the other guy being able to fire at us.
You hear other substitute. I heard that.
Now,
Adjusting course now.
we are currently 20 hexes away. Okay.
Yep.
The
shoot
range
that.
of our weapon is 10.
Mhm.
Science officer, go ahead and do a scan.
So whose science is that? That's Dr. Wagner, is it?
Dr. Wagner.
All right. So the DC5. Wait a second. So scanning is DC5 plus the thing. So this is a DC7. Is essentially a computer check to learn information about the other opposing starships. So your sensors are pretty good. It's a pretty low check, but you get more information based on how high you beat that score, that DC.
One thing we forgot to mention here real quick, because
Okay.
I'm going to tell him to use it right now. Our computer is a Mark 1 trinode. In other words, during any of these checks, one of us can use one of them for a +1, which I guess would be a +3 in this case, as far as a tier goes.
No, that's
Okay.
one-on-one. That's the Trinode delivers a one-on-one. They do not deliver a full step.
Oh, it is a one-on-one. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so like the scanner right now, go ahead and use one of those. So once he figures out the DC,
And those, yeah, so he's right. So you'll get at least 3 instances of +1 that you can use due to the power of Djinn. But those 3 reset. So as you're going
every
through your
round.
thing, yeah. So they reset every round. So you could say, all right, I'm going to use one of Djinn's power points to bring that down 1 number, or you could use all 3.
The way it's set up, you can't use all 3. You can only use 1.
Feels wrong.
That's the type of computer we bought.
Okay. All right.
It's a Mark 1 trinode. So you get a +1 on 3 different tries.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I see how they did that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, Wagner, go ahead and roll your scan check. What's his DC?
So his DC right now is 7. Now, I'm sorry.
I have scan special abilities. What does that add to my bonus?
I think it's right freaking on. So I think I mean, the fact that you're scanning and you have a scans thing, I think that's right on the money. So your scan ability allows you to scan. It costs you 2 intelligence points though, but that will give you, I'm going to say that will drop that. What do we have? 7. That'll drop that to 4. So that'll give you a thing.
So that thing in parentheses is what it costs, or I thought that was based on my bonus.
No, that's what it costs.
If it costs 2 intellect, doesn't it drop it 2 steps?
Oh, correct. Yes, it does drop it 2 steps. So
So it makes it an automatic.
it's a 1, but remember how much you get over it tells you more information.
Yeah, with scanners,
We still want to roll. Okay.
Right.
you
Yeah, you
want to
still
roll
wanna roll.
high so you can get all sorts of information right off the bat.
Okay, so I don't need to spend any intelligence on this because
I
I've
would
got
not.
Djinn.
Any
I would
additional?
not.
No. If you've
Well,
got, you can
yeah.
spend edge, which would take it down to -2.
Well, you have to spend 2 to use scan.
Yeah, you're going to spend 2 intellect points to use the scan mode.
So
And
I,
at
well,
that
I mean, the ship has scanner and Djinn gives me a +1, so. I'll roll with that before I spend anything.
All right, so that's 0 without spending edge. Now, edge is sort of a freebie in intellect. You get it back every round. It doesn't cost you anything.
Go ahead and use
okay.
the edge.
Yeah, so use the edge. That takes it down to -3. Djinn's
Now roll
helping
a
you with the
natural
scan.
20 and we'll get everything we ever need.
Yeah, you get everything. But it might not even need a natural 20 to get everything.
You
The
might
guys-
not.
The guy's blood type, shoe sized.
Yeah.
Reference,
All right,
Name,
well.
social security number,
Instagram account.
PIN number on his Space MasterCard.
Let's put it in a jelly roll.
Oh no!
shit.
So you
Oh,
rolled a 1, which is
no.
you were down at -3. So that's only 4 higher. So you did succeed.
You
That
got
gives
basic information.
basic information. So
I think if you roll 3 1s, you activate the self-destruct by accident.
Yes.
what's this red button I just bumped? All right. So basic information. Don, do you have that handy? Because you
Yeah,
have
so
the
basic information is living crew complement. We know that this is just an interceptor, so it's just one person. Okay. The ship classification is a ship interceptor. Size is tiny. We know that these guys have a speed of 8 and a maneuverability of 0. I know most of that information we had already talked about anyway and everything, but during a normal Starfinder, you don't know anything about what's coming at you until you scan it.
Got it.
So they're a little faster than us. They're a lot more maneuverable than us.
but also a lot smaller.
Also a lot smaller. We don't know anything about their shields or hull points or anything like that yet.
Or weapons.
Or weapons.
So, all right. So that's a little bit of information. It's not nothing, even from a natural 1. I do want to point out, though, earlier, Matt mentioned that we've been playing this for over 3 years. I just did the math. We started this in the first week of November, 2019. So three and a half years we've been playing Traveler, and this is our first space battle.
And we just looked at Team A, and we've been playing A team since like 2017, right? November 2017.
It's been a while. I could find out for sure, but because I
We're never
keep
gonna
everything.
finish A game. It's just not gonna happen.
We're gonna finish A team by the end of the year. I promise you.
Says the guy who canceled it last month.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, at the
Okay,
end of
so-
next year. We'll finish it
Yeah.
by the end of the next year.
Yeah, he's waiting
It'll
for another
be-
pandemic to keep us all home for 2 years, so we have
Yeah,
no
exactly.
sense of time.
It'll be by the end of the year. He didn't say which year.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't say which year.
So phase 3 is gunnery. Nobody's within range.
Nobody's
So,
within range, and they're not
we go
within
to-
range of you. So,
Right. So we go to round 2 and start with engineers again.
okay.
Okay. Do you guys
And
want to roll those same things?
And did you want me to chime in this time at gunnery, or are they still too far away?
They're still too far away right now. So in last round, the gunnery phase, you didn't have anything to shoot at.
Yeah. I know,
But
I'm
at the
just
end
here
of
to
this,
encourage.
at the end of this round, you might, and once you get to the gunnery areas.
I'm gently massaging their shoulders and whispering like daily acclamations in their ears, like, "Ah, you got this. You got
Go
this,
ahead.
little tiger."
You're good enough. You're smart
As captain, go ahead and next time encourage the science officer with the scan.
Okay.
Thanks.
If he needs a
Or
little help.
or threaten them. Yeah.
You got this, Ace.
God
So-
damn it, Wagner! What the hell are you doing down there?
So engineers, go ahead and roll the 2 checks you guys did last time, and we'll see if we can get that.
Okay.
So our speed's +2.
And this is a success for Captain Gray as well. So,
Right. So
made it by
science
1.
officers
Yay.
+2 also.
and the science officer's +2. So speed +2, science officer +2.
Hooray.
Okay. Next is the initiative for piloting.
Okay. 16, and then let me roll mine. Okay, hold on a second. Ooh. All right, you guys go first this time.
Hey.
And I maneuver.
Oh, we gotta. Okay, so we have moved 8.
Is that our move with +2?
Yeah, our normal move is 6.
Cool, okay.
With +2, we're 8. With +2, we're just as fast as them.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Dan, I just sent you a message. All right, so he's done a taunt. I don't need so these with a one man in a one man thing. I don't have an engineering option, do I?
You do not.
Or a science officer.
You do not.
All right, we're gonna start this game over.
You can.
I need a bigger
you can,
ship.
You can run and you can shoot at a -2.
Yeah. Well, so I just sent Dan a message that is a
Yeah,
factor
just
there.
tell him.
So I think the one thing that to point out is that these interceptors don't know you guys have guns. Remember, they don't think they're going into a space battle. They think they're going. They think they're pulling over some miscreants.
Something
Because
to
remember,
keep in mind.
the gun emplacements were attached to the gin and tonic surreptitiously. These are illegal guns.
Yeah.
Like all your weapons, they're
Right.
completely illegal. So except for Mallory's shotgun, which he got from his time in the service, but generally, yeah, they don't
And
know.
then
So
you
they're
do
just
terribly illegal things.
yeah. So they are. So that being the case, and they have no. The reason I asked about the science officer thing was whether they can do a scan on you to determine that you have weapons before they sort of rock into you. So, which they cannot. So this is good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going to come down to here. And then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's coming there and changing facing. All right. They this isn't a taunt this time, but they do reiterate the broadcast. You are ordered by, they basically say you are ordered by Cymbeline Interstellar Authority, ConStab, to immediately turn off your fusion engines and stop and prepare to be boarded. We are taking this ship into custody and it's the entirety of its crew. Please power down immediately.
Now, is that this guy taunting now?
It's not a taunt. It's just communication.
This is just an announcement. Okay.
Yeah, they heard Mallory laughing and they're angry, but they know that the taunts aren't going to work.
Right.
All right, that's them.
Okay. The science officer can scan.
Wait, I'm supposed to do something now, or do I wait till I'm scanned and then I do it?
You do it now. The captain wants to do a encourage.
So I do a
Okay.
DC check at 10, right?
So encourage is DC 15 diplomacy or wait. Yeah, so DC 15 diplomacy. Now, if I recall correctly, Weber is somewhat skilled in diplomacy.
I am.
Let me check that.
So what do I add my pluses here?
So you are
15?
spin identity, encouragement. You actually have a skill called encouragement, which costs you 1 intellect point, and you have a edge there as well. While you maintain this ability through ongoing inspiring orientation, your allies get this thing. All right, so you have, it actually says encouragement. So for 1 intellect point, you'll get a step, and then your edge will give you another step.
Okay, I'll do
So
that.
that brings that down from a DC 15 to a DC 9.
And do I get any pluses to my roll?
If you want to burn some intellect, you can. I don't see persuade. So wait, you're trained in persuading. That's another step that brings it down to a 6.
All right, so just straight roll then.
Do a
It's
straight
up to
roll
you.
of 6 or more.
11. All right, so you are victorious. You encourage. Who did you encourage, Dr. Wagner?
Dr. Wagner, I come up
Yeah, for
behind you,
science scanning.
little back rub. Hey, Doc.
Hey, big guy.
Don't worry about it.
That K is really kicking in, brah. I can really feel it. You're gonna do great today, Tiger. I can really feel it.
He's sitting in the captain's chair on the bridge, like I am tripping balls.
Yeah.
So So during the engineering phase, we were successfully able to give the science officer a plus.
Okay. And during the captain's phase, he was also giving
Captain's
them
phase, he got a
plus.
plus. And I would recommend he also use a +1 from the computer. So go ahead and
Okay.
figure out what his thing is.
All right. So it depends. Is he still scanning them?
Yes, at this point, we want to scan to find out information about the guns and defenses.
All right. It starts out at DC 7. What did you take it to without any addition, but with
It was a
Djinn,
-3.
it was a -3. And now he's got 2 sets of encouragement, which I think is +2 for each, right?
Yes.
All right.
There's
So that we've taken a
0.
-3 to -7,
Okay, and then using one of the computers, so -8.
-8.
So, yeah.
Wait, no,
we-
he used computer
we-
last time. That's already factored into the -1. So it's still -7.
The computer stuff resets every round.
Oh,
You
never
say
mind
that
then.
beginning.
No, you're right. Okay, so -8.
-8.
So roll your dice and see if you can beat a -8.
If you get a 2, we can get some additional
goes-
information.
I think it goes up in five
Increments of 5.
increments of 5. Yeah, 5 increments. So I think if you get,
So you not roll a 1? Is that what you need to do?
Just-
he needs to not. It would be
if-
well
if you can roll a oh,
something in the
God.
teens. If you
can
roll a 12,
if you can
you
roll a
essentially
6,
will get everything.
Yeah. If you roll a 6, we'll get the first 3. That's all we need.
That's true. So 6 or better to get everything.
I believe in you, Doc. You got this. Anybody else's hands
feeling
transmuting
it.
into tentacles?
I'm throwing the whammy on him. Whammy, whammy, whammy.
All right, so I just need to roll a D20.
Just
Yep.
roll a D20. 6.
6. He got it. All right. Don, give him the rest of the information.
Okay, so we now know that they have an AC of 17,
Air conditioning?
an
Target
SL,
lock.
which is target lock of 17, which we don't have torpedoes, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
They have 30 hull points, which are like hit points. Okay.
Conversely, so just so you know, to give you an indication, the Gin and Tonic has, I believe, 120 as a heavy freighter. So the Gin and Tonic has 120 hit points.
Right.
They have 30.
They currently have 20 shield points, 5 in each quarter.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a front, left, right, starboard, port, aft. So
Yeah, it's 4.
it's kind of like damage reduction. Okay. And they have a PCU core value of
They have a Uninode.
90.
Okay. Also give them the weapons.
Okay, well, that was the defense stuff. The weapons, they have one weapon. It's a light particle cannon in the front arc. So if we can get to the side of them or behind them, they can't fire on us. Okay, well, if we move last, because they have maneuverability of 0. So as long as they're moving after us, they just spin and always be facing us. So I need to do better at the piloting checks and then get behind them.
So in this case,
Okay.
as you see this guy over here, his front arc is essentially this. I think. Hold on a
Well,
second.
his front arc, that's a little more than the front arc, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. See where the hex line is?
Oh, it's on the hex lines. That's right. I
It
always
follows
forget
the
that.
hex line.
Yep.
So you guys see the hex line I'm pinging at, right?
Yep.
And then this one, it comes out. So if you look at the front of the ship and just follow the hex lines out, that's the front arc. So right now we are within his front arc and he is within our front arc.
Okay.
And we are within 10 hexes of each other.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He's
Yeah.
in
you're
fire,
right.
but remember, he doesn't even know we have weapons.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a surprise for them.
Right. And the nice thing about interceptors is that it's just a one-man crew. They
Correct.
fire their weapons at a minus
Because they're flying and firing at the same
because
time.
they're flying and firing at the same time.
Even the ones that dodge swamp rats back home.
Yes.
In whatever canyon that is.
Beggars Canyon.
Beggars Canyon.
Here's Canyon. How did I forget that?
All right, there's your front arc for that guy right there.
Okay, now their weapon does 3d6,
So it's bigger.
so it's bigger. Our weapon does each of our two
4d4.
weapons do 4d4. Yeah.
So each individual laser,
All we could afford.
Between 4 and 16 points. Okay.
yeah, each individual laser does 2d4 together, linked together, they do 4d4. All right. So that is piloting, right? Or that was that was science officer. So we're still at helm.
Well, that was no, we maneuvered first and then we did the helm. So we were done.
Science,
They
yeah.
moved, we moved.
Science officer did his thing. We got the information you needed.
Are we within range of fire? Or not
Good
yet?
fire,
Next is
but do we want-
gunnery.
Next is gunnery.
Are we
So
waiting to get like a bit closer to give them a nasty surprise, or what's? the plan?
no, we're gonna do it now because we need to do it as fast as we can before this guy comes over here too much. Okay,
Okie dokie. So,
so one of you gets a +1 because of the computer.
Right.
Figure out what you guys both need to fire the weapon.
do I get anything from human machine interface?
All right,
Any bonus?
The check is, yeah, you would. So you get a rank for that. So basically you roll a D20. What is it against? It's against their AC. So you can roll a D20, +3 for your interface. Plus, if you have a, do you have any, well, plus the computer bonus, which we're giving to each of them, or? Because we have two
No,
left.
No, just one of them. No, we only have one left. We used one for engineering, one in science officer.
Oh, we did. Okay. So one left. So somebody gets one. The Dex mod, which in this case would be your speed edge, if you have it.
Yeah.
And you can burn speed points. Is speed, Eric, is your gunnery too, right? So what's your primary? Where do you have your edge?
Let's see. My edge is gonna be I have edge in might and speed.
There you go. All right. So you've got speed edge too. So that's another +3. So right now you're at +6, and whoever takes the Djinn's help gets an additional +1. There was no encouragement for you guys. There's no range penalty. I don't think there's any action bonus penalty. So I think it's D20 +6 and +7. Now you guys fight over who gets whose
You
Djinn
take
is.
the +7,
Djinn is-
Eric.
Okay.
I'll take the +6. And what's our DC we're going for?
It's
The
not a
AC
DC.
is
It's against.
17, so you
it's
want to hit 17 or higher, both
Yep.
of us.
Uh,
So D20 +6 and a D20 +7.
Dang, that's a 22. That's a hit.
Boom, that's one. And I roll. Okay, I'm sorry.
Just a regular D20 +7.
D20 +7.
Gotcha. D20 +1, 2, and 16.
Ooh,
16 is, I
Miss.
think, a miss. Was AC 17?
DC is 17.
It's close.
AC armor class is 17. So you missed
Close.
it by
Well, one hit. All right. So Captain Black got his
Four-
licks in on the guy.
Nice.
4D4.
Any pluses?
Not on damage. No.
4D4. 17.
That's a good
Okay.
roll.
Now he's got a
See,
shield
put in a
there in
+6.
front.
I
We're hitting
didn't
the
mean
front.
to do that.
We're hitting the front quadrant. He's got a shield of 5.
Yep.
So we wipe that shield out right now, and he takes 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
Sorry, there's a +6 in there. I didn't mean to put in. I don't know why that's in there.
And he says,
Oh.
"We're the police. We're not equipped to deal with this level of violence."
So it's 11. It's actually 11 damage.
It's 11.
Stop.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Take 5 off for the shield, and it's 6 then. So he's 6 points down.
6 points down. Oh, he added a +6 in there.
The +6 was still in there from last time.
Big cheater. All right. So yeah, you guys can hear the subspace chatter now. These two interceptors are talking to each other, and they're like, "Holy shit, they've got guns! What the hell? This isn't what we signed up for. What's going on here?" We got to get him. We've got orders. Let's go. All right. So fired and hit. So,
Now, to let you know, Les,
yeah, I can fire my particle cannon, correct?
pilots of the interceptor can do engineering and helm checks if they just go in a straight line and don't really pilot.
And don't pilot. Okay.
And they have an option of going any speed they want from 0 to their max.
Okay, so they can just stop. All right. He's going to fire at you guys. So he's within 10. He's going to fire his particle cannon. Let me see. I got to check his sheet to see what does he get. Speed. He doesn't get any bonuses. He doesn't have anybody encouraging him because you guys are so friggin' mean about stuff. Where's my guy? There he is. Speed pull. He does not get edge. He has might edge. Mete out justice. No. Practice in armor endurance. Practice with all weapons. No. Trained in any action to escape danger. Stealth. I don't think he gets any bonuses.
And he gets a minus because he's flying.
So
yes.
Let me go back to it. The gunner, when I go back, fire at will is a -4 penalty.
Yeah, fire at will. I don't know that that's
No, we'll give him.
he only has one weapon, so he's not going to use it. He's just going to
So it's
shoot.
not fire at will. Yeah.
So what's I don't think he has any specific bonuses in
He does
combat.
not.
So what is the AC?
Well, our AC is 14.
14. All right. Well, he's going to fire his particle cannon at the Djinn and Tonic in response to this outrageous affront against the legal authority of the system.
Hey, we know it.
And he misses. He misses with the particle cannon. So he missed.
We need a taunt, Matt.
All right.
And the other guy's too far away, so he's like, "I'm coming. Stay. Don't get destroyed, Bill. I'll be right there. I'll save you."
Bill.
Bill from Greenpert, I think.
Bill,
I know you.
is that Bill from Greenbird? All right,
So
that's
we are
it.
back. We are back. Round 3.
Mm-hmm.
First phase is engineering.
So I'm
Okay.
now gunner, so I'm just probably going to stay a gunner, right?
Yeah, I would if you want to shoot the guns. You can't do both in the
Yep.
same round.
Right.
All right, so then Bishop is the sole engineer.
You didn't
Am I encouraging
do
gunning
both
this
last time, did you?
Did he do both last time?
I might have.
Yeah.
We'll let it go this time, but don't do it again.
Activate
I'm,
self.
not,
Yeah,
I'm a gunner now.
You stay at guns. We've got one guy doing the engineering. So
Bishop,
Bishop Hawke. Go ahead and do the speed thing right now. Because we haven't taken any damage, so we don't need any repairs.
Nope,
No,
didn't work.
You suck at engineering, so we move at 6.
All right, so you guys are back at 6 speed.
We're back at 6 speed. You and I are rolling initiative.
That's correct.
Oh, not bad. 20.
Oh, 20 and
Okay.
9.
So you guys
I
move-
have to go first.
You move first.
And Immelman, Space Immelman.
He's gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's gonna change facing. So he's looping around this direction. You see him?
Yep.
So you basically
Ramming
get it.
speed.
He's trying to get in position to so he can be backed up by his guy. So here comes the other one. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So I think this will put him in firing range this round. Let me check. Yeah, he's within like 7 hexes, so he's good. So yeah, so he's coming up that way and he's facing you guys. So these both guys are facing you from your flank and coming in your direction. That's where they fly.
Ramming speed.
We're changing your name from Bishop to D-Day.
Move to, reface, run over the little guy.
Dun, 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 dun.
We actually want to.
Well, you can so you can't crash. You can't ram two starships. But you can overflight each other. It's called a flyby attack, something like that.
Broadsides.
It's a stunt. Yeah, it's called flyby. Yeah, piloting check to move the starship up to its speed and move through one enemy occupied hex without provoking. During the gunnery phase, the single arc of weapons can fire as if the enemy starship is at one range. Fail equals move, attack, and provoke as normal.
Okay, so we moved to here.
Okay.
We are within this guy's forward arc, so he can fire at us.
Right.
We're too far away for this guy to fire at us.
Okay.
And we can only use our turret weapon here against him.
And that's the one that Matt's on, right? Matt's on the
That's
turret.
the one Matt's on. There was
I'm not a turret, right? I'm a captain.
He's
oh yeah,
captain.
Graves.
Oh, he's
Mallory
captain.
Graves.
Oh, Mallory's on the
Mallory,
turret.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Eric. You're on the turret. So
Oh, good.
you'll be doing the firing.
You're on
Okay.
drums, bro.
Well,
Does
last
that-
time I missed.
that mean-
Let me try it again.
Does that mean Dan can do an engineering action since he's not gonna fire this time?
Yes, it can.
Not right now because we're past the engineering, but yeah. Was there
That'll be
anything
my penalty for
scanning?
taking 2 turns
target
last time.
system?
I don't get one this time.
All right,
Actually, you're still.
You're still on the gun.
Who was science officer last time?
Wagner.
Wagner, right now, you can do a target. Yeah, do a target system.
Do I need to encourage him or nah?
You can encourage him.
I would like encouragement.
Hey,
I'm rolling for
Doc,
shit,
I know
dude.
you and I've had our differences in the past, but I really think you got this, man. I really believe in you, and you know, I love you, man.
I
All
have
right,
to be honest with
Okay,
you.
so target system is a computer check. The DC and Starfinder is 20 plus the enemy ship bonus for countermeasurements would be 0. For this thing, I think we start with a DC of 15 for Cypher, and you do whatever computer check minuses you need for the science officer.
Okay, I'm not sure how to calculate that.
Let's
All
help
right.
us
So
out.
for the science officer, DC 15 to target the system would be. So you've got what did we do last time? Hold on, I gotta look at Wagner's thing here. Hold on.
He went all the way down to like minus
Hey, no, he went down to next to nothing.
3.
All right.
Well, minus
so
3 without the 2 bonuses.
Are you gonna spend the 2 points to do this to do scan? I guess it wouldn't matter.
No, he's gonna do a target system.
Right.
We're gonna.
So he doesn't have any special abilities. He gets edge and intellect, so that takes it down to 12. His skills in computer, he's trained, so that takes it down to 9.
Oh, aren't I adding some encouragement too to take it farther down?
You're adding encouragement, that takes it down to.
You can encourage again. Yep.
Did you
so-
roll the encouragement roll?
Yeah, so it's gonna be 6 or above again, same roll.
Yes.
Oh,
6. That's
right
it.
on the line.
Did it not work?
No,
He
it worked.
did. He barely made it. He did
Barely
a 6
made it.
or
All right.
better.
So
He
plus
got a
2, that
6.
so that
It's a
takes it
pass
down to
fail. I passed.
that takes the DC down to 7. I think that's all you got without burning
Okay.
intellect points.
And then use one of the computer chips for another 1. So it's 6.
6 or better.
DC 6.
Okay. So
What do you roll? What do you roll? 10.
You
All right.
rolled a 10. So pick a system. Core, which is core
Energy.
core energy of the ship, engines, life support, sensors or weapons. I would choose either life support or weapons, actually.
You don't think engines? Because if you kill the engines, they're just sitting there, and
I'd
it
rather
won't
kill-
necessarily.
Well, if you kill the engines, he can still fire at us. If we kill the weapons, he can't. If we kill life support, he's got to run away.
Or eject.
or eject. Whereas engines, he can sit in one spot and still fire at us.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
So we're in the forward arc. Let's target the weapons. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's more effective against this ship than other ships because there is only one weapon. If you target a weapon, you're only targeting one weapon. So
Yeah.
if they have multiple weapons, that doesn't help. But
Okay.
in this case, we're going to target the weapon. Now, gunning phase is coming up right now. If you roll a 19 or a 20, you will critically
Critically injure
affect-
that.
critically injure their gun. Okay.
I'm
So,
rolling like shit.
Eric, no pressure here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
problem.
Use another +1 from the computer for
Okay.
this check. To hit.
So it's D20 plus 7 or 8.
7.
D20 plus
Right.
7 because you had a
Right.
+1 last time. So it's D20 plus 7, and you want to roll a 17 or higher. But what you really want to do is roll a 19 or a 20 on the die.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Holy.
Oh, 16. So 23. That will hit. So
You still
partial
hit, so you
partial damage to. So that is on the front shield, which he hasn't had.
no shield.
Yeah, he can't rebalance it because he doesn't have a science officer.
He can okay, that's what I
Well-
was talking about. You can do a rebalance, but you have to just like coast straight forward.
Right. Okay. Well,
So-
he didn't do that. So 'cause
Right,
he,
right.
he already
So
maneuvered.
Eric, you're going to do 4d4 of damage.
Mhm.
44. All right. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, D4, and 44. Here it is. I do 10.
10 points. Okay.
There
All
was
right.
no shield there to take up any
No,
of
there
that.
wasn't.
I say into the mic. Okay. ConStab, prepare to be boarded.
Well, you can't board him.
This is a taunt. This is a taunt.
He's
I like
just he's teasing him.
Right. Les, have you got him down to 14?
I do.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Just confirming.
Okay.
He's kind of shitting bricks.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. He yeah. He's not doing great. Okay. That's
but we did not disable the weapon.
no,
though, so-
didn't work. It's a
You
good
know-
try though.
We don't want to kill them unless we have to. So, is there a moment
If you knock them in Starfinder, if you knock them down to 0 and leave, you've won. They are not necessarily dead, they're just disabled.
okay?
Yeah, they have to be rescued essentially.
I mean, I don't want to gratuitously commit murder.
Right.
I'm sorry, who's this talking? Because this is not the Mallory that I'm familiar with. I don't know if you saw all the blood all over the hangar, but
All right, is that gunnery for everybody?
That is gunnery for everyone. Yeah. Did you fire yet? I think you did. Did you miss? You may not have.
Dan or Eric?
Oh, I haven't fired yet, have I?
Because I face forward and we're not.
I have-
facing-
Right. We can only shoot the turret weapon. We are in the forward arc. So yeah, less.
So right, I haven't fired. So I am going to fire that particle cannon. What do we say? Straight up roll?
Straight up roll.
Fire.
Oh no, another miss.
These are beautiful. Beautiful.
All right.
We need some more taunting, Matt.
All right.
Here we go. Ready? I'm coming onto the thing. Send more cops.
All right. So taunt, that was, so taunt is DC 15 plus, so it'll be DC 17, bluff
I
or
got-
intimidate check. So
Right.
I think you, in this case, you probably have the right set of skills.
So what did it drop down to?
Encouragement, I think, is not right, but it would be something along the lines of fast talk.
Encouraging them to go away. So
Persuasion. So you would get 6 off of that. So 17 minus 6 is 11.
I'm gonna use an intellect too.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
takes it down to. Do you have edge in intellect?
Yeah, I think that's where my one edge is.
You want to use the edge? Okay, so
Use the edge.
um,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that takes it down to 8, an 8 or better.
Here we go. Oh, geez.
No, he laughs at you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna
I've
send more
seen-
cops, all right. Now
I've
that we
seen-
found out that you guys are shooting at police.
I'm a fan of the Return of the Living Dead too, bro.
Okay, and that was against this guy, so we can't taunt him anymore either.
Right.
Okay,
All right.
so this guy, we can still try taunting this guy, and he can still try taunting us.
Okay. Yellow is taunt.
Their taunt, blue is ours.
Blue,
Yep.
blue is yours.
Okay.
I got some Will Smith for this guy.
Welcome to Earth.
So engineering, our
it's
one
engineering.
engineer, do you want to try to increase our speed?
Speed again.
Yep. Oh,
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
That's the second one.
Oh,
Two in a row.
shit.
So you guys are
keep throwing
moving
Okay.
6.
Yeah.
Now, Les, right now, if he wants to just go on autopilot, he can do an engineering for himself. Restore
Yeah,
some
I'm
shield.
gonna do that. He's gonna have to go straight. So he's gonna do that. He's gonna try and rebalance the shields. I have to make an engineering. Well, that's a science check, right?
Well,
Balance, yeah. DC
balancing
10.
the shields is science check. Restoring shields is engineering. Yeah, he probably wants to balance them.
He's balancing them, yeah. So I'm gonna do DC 10 plus 1.5, so that makes it a DC 12.
Now, if you want to make it even everywhere, that's an automatic. If you want to put more shields in a certain sector,
Oh yeah,
that's
no,
what
I'm
you
gonna
have to
do.
roll for.
I'm gonna do the check. Let's see if does he have any engineering skill? Would danger steps, danger sense be that? No,
Hmm.
probably not.
Doesn't sound like that's engineering.
Right. That
Feels-
sounds that sounds
feels right.
Spidey and Spider-Man-ish.
Feels right though. Man, he doesn't have anything in his speed pool. All right, so it's a raw roll. I gotta get a 12 or better to custom rebalance the shields. Hold on a sec. And this he is regulating himself to a single direction, although not necessarily the entirety of his speed. So
Not in the full speed rate, maybe.
nice, Natty Twunzo.
Ooh.
So I'm rebalancing my shields.
You have 15 points. How do you want to put them?
I'm gonna. I can't put them all in front, can I?
You have to leave at least 10% on every
So-
sector. So you
so
can do 2, 2, 2, and
That's what I'm doing.
whatever.
That's 6 out of the remaining 15, so that puts 9 on the front. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. All right. That's
Okay, so you've got 9 in the front and then 2 on the port, starboard, and aft.
correct.
Okay.
Better get those engines cranked up so we can whip
We
around.
are ready to roll initiative.
Who's rolling?
Piloting check, I mean.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh,
So I'm gonna go first.
that was a clutch initiative roll.
It's a time check too. Probably the last round for me.
Oh crap! Yeah. All right. Last round. Then we'll start it. Okay.
I gotta go clean my barbecue at midnight. You know, neighbors gonna love it.
Okay,
Not the one with the light up knobs and everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have moved.
Light up knobs and have been that iron casting or the metal scraping.
Les, you gotta point him at either this square or that square. He's halfway right now. He can't
He's
be-
pointed. Yeah, he's pointed to. He was going this direction. Sorry.
Okay, so he can move as far as he wants, no more than 8, but it's gotta be straight ahead.
Can I? Oh, it's got to be straight ahead. Can I? I can't change my facing either, can I?
Nope.
Shit. All right. He's gonna take the full 8 and get out this way. And come whipping around. Now
Was that
this guy,
1, 2, 3,
Yeah, it was
4,
8.
5, 6. Yep, that's 8. Okay.
this guy is like, I'll avenge
I'll
you.
avenge you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he is going to change his facing. Goes right at you guys.
Okay, no, he's gotta be on one of the things, actually.
Nope. I'm
Yeah, he
calling it
does.
all.
No. Now,
All right.
both of them, though, this is the forward facing one, because if it's part of the line going through it, it still hits. Well, no, he's not facing that way, is he?
The stupid thing didn't work right. Hold on. He's facing that way.
Yeah,
He's
that
facing-
way.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
It's still in his forward arc.
is
He's
still in
still-
the forward arc. Yeah.
He's going to fire, but he yells out, "I'll avenge you." Okay.
Okay.
That's piloting. Science.
Science officer, go ahead and do a target again.
Do I need to
Just
help
a
with that?
system target.
Hey,
System target.
wait. Should I have incursion first? No.
19.
Doesn't need it. He nailed
No,
it.
Never mind. I'll save it for somebody else.
You're gonna encourage the gunner.
What system?
So the new one, the one we haven't targeted yet.
Yeah, this new guy.
Yep. I'm thinking weapons again.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Weapons targeted. All right. I think we've already did science for us. So we move into gunnery, don't we?
Yes. Now this guy can't because
He's facing the wrong
he's
direction,
facing the wrong way.
so he cannot fire.
Right.
But this
So we're
time
gonna
I
use
can
gunnery.
fire.
Go ahead and use +1 from the computer. Captain, go ahead and encourage him. I think when all is said and done, you're gonna be a +7 again.
Depending on the successful
encouragement.
encouragement. Yeah.
Right. Captain, go ahead and roll an encouragement.
Matt.
Matt.
Okay, so for this, is it the same bonuses that I had
Yep.
before? So
Yep.
okay, so
Yeah.
doo-doo-doo. Hey, you got this shot. You're gonna do great. I can feel it.
Yeah.
You got this, Ace.
I've just met you,
Get him.
but
Oh,
All right. So that's a 19 or a 20, which means you directly lased the weapon system
Wow.
on the opposing ship. Now, do I get my shot?
Well, that's Weber.
That's
Jake's
Weber
encouraging.
Oh, that's Weber. Oh, all right. I thought that was the shot. Sorry.
That was
No,
me
that's
just
Weber
like,
Jake's
normally I don't do this,
encouraging,
but
so
let me
he
just-
does
So he gets a-
encourage him.
So he gets another
Uh,
+2. So that takes it up to 9, right?
He's at 9. Yeah,
Plus
+9
9.
to hit.
All right. So Eric,
So both of you's roll. Eric, go ahead and roll to hit at
Okay,
+9.
hang on a minute.
anything but a 19 or 20. Would be perfect.
15.
15. All right. I'll take that. 15, however, is
It's not enough to hit.
it's not even enough to hit. It's a miss.
Oh,
Again.
wait. He only added 7. So add 2 more, which is 17,
17?
which does hit.
It's a hit.
AC 17. You're right. It's a hit.
Okay.
All right, but not enough to get the weapon system. But
But
you do 4d4.
he doesn't destroy the weapon. So 4d4.
All right.
11.
So 11. So,
So he takes off all 5 of the shield in his front,
Mhm, and then 6 internal hits.
and then 6 internal.
Okay. So he's going to have to rebalance. And now he's going to fire.
And wait, hold on. Don't I get to fire? Well,
No.
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, yeah, you do.
yes.
Shit.
Forward
Yeah, you-
and turret.
Yeah.
All right, I'm redoing my roll then.
No, you're
No,
not.
you don't
you
get to
said-
redo your roll. You missed. Now
I
you-
missed. I guess my vengeance will have to wait.
So
I only get
you're
+6. Yeah.
Yep, because you didn't get encouraged by anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, but you
Oh.
missed too.
Oh. Oh.
All right, so
At
you missed
least we
too.
burned a bad roll. to get it
We
out
had
of
him
the way.
down to no shields in the front and everything.
And I missed with my particle cannon too.
Yep.
All right, so that I
Look for a better
believe
crew.
Let's stop now.
I believe that's the end of the round. So we'll stop there. We'll start in round. It's be round 5 of the space battle next time.
What are you guys
Real-
thinking of ship combat?
Yeah, what do you guys think of this? I wanted to ask you. What's
Pretty
your,
simple and straightforward. I'm glad you guys are leading us through it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah. But in so many other ship combats, even in RPGs, one guy did everything. He's like, okay, I move
Yeah.
and fire. I move and fire. I love this system because it does involve everyone.
and it has options too, right? The science officer can balance the things. He can do scans. He can target systems. He can do countermeasures. There's all kinds of interesting things. The pilot can do maneuvers and stunts and try this or that. There's a lot of options and it all interweaves. I think, frankly, this is probably the best ship-to-ship combat outside of Starfleet battles that I've ever played. And frankly, as I
Yes.
mentioned earlier, I would never inflict Starfleet battles on you guys.
That is
Never.
a complete system game of itself. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would never do that to anybody. All right. Well, thank you guys. This was awesome.
Thank
I hope you guys had fun.
Had a great time. It was fun
We'll
doing something different. I liked it.
yeah, we'll rejoin this battle the next time we play, which will be sometime in July. I don't know.
Les, so what's the schedule like? I would say that I'm here next weekend, then I'm gone the weekend after for 4th of July weekend, or pre-4th of July weekend, I'm gone.
So next
I'll be back.
week is B team. Or no, it's not. It's quarantine.
Okay.
On
So it'll be the
Yeah, A team would
30th
be
or
4th of July weekend, which is
first.
gonna be a rough weekend.
is that going to be a rough weekend for A team? Do we need to skip it again this time, or
Yeah, I don't want to skip it,
Well-
but I don't think I can make the first. I think it was when I did first or
The good
second.
news is,
Second,
Les, I think
it's
there's an
second.
extra Sunday in July.
there is. It's the
And B team
30th.
can't claim it this time.
So yeah, why don't we give that to
Yes,
A?
All right. Do we want to have A team on the 2nd, even though some people might not be able to make it? I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm saying for sure I can't make it, but who else? Dan, you're here. Chuck, you're here.
I'll be here, and I was just more worried about Genevieve and Gordon. They
Oh, yeah, 'cause
usually
they
take off.
I'll send them an email.
Okay.
I'll send everybody an email and see, is July 2nd. Yeah, they may be going because it's like a 4-day weekend. Actually,
Right.
I might be busy if my cousins are going to be here.
There you go.
All right, well,
All right.
just email us what you figure.
Fireworks. And
All right. So will the 30th, July 30th work for everybody? It's the Sunday before Gen Con, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
Works for me.
Should
Okay.
work for me.
But that means Gen Con is the weekend of A team again for August.
Right. It is.
I'm telling you, we are never finishing A team.
Fuck, it is. Oh my God.
Oh, we're
Just
gonna
come
be
on.
2030.
Hey,
2030
you guys,
is now
the
our
demons,
goal.
the demons quit. They throw it on their arms. You guys win. And
Tell you what, you're right. It's good. That's going to screw up A team again. Tell you what about this? On the 30th, what if we started a couple hours early? Like we started at 8. What if we started right after dinner at 6?
Well, send an email to everybody. Half of
Send
A
an
team
email
is-
to everyone. I'm
Okay,
okay
I
with
will.
that, but yeah.
All right, I will.
Okay.
Good night, just let me know what you decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nighty night,
Good night,
night, guys.
everybody.
All
All right. Good night, you guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks again. See y'all.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.